Just cheat this light a little bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Hi. Hi, guys. Hello. Let me see. It's 9:20. Hello. Give me a second, child. Hi, guys. Hey, Sincerity. How are you, love? How you, darling? I sound like an old trendy woman. How you, darling? What's been going on? Let me just put this on there, okay? It's Kaylin. Hi, Kaylin. I was like, who is that? So I'm like, I recognize the name, but I think you've changed your name before. Yeah, let me choose my song, child. I was waiting for more people to get in the room before I start. Let's see. Are we gonna go for this beat? We'll do that beat. All right. Yes, I changed it. Got a tune in my life. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's get into it. Oh, shoot. Babe called me. Sorry. Hold on. Babe. My bad. Horrible this. Hey, Tawana. How are you? Damn, I've been missing. I don't know why like my phone don't ring like I don't know. Anyways. And on my Instagram never rings. I never hear it. Child. Instagram trying to get me in trouble, child. Hi. Okay, I was waiting for more people to get into the room. How long have I been in this room now, child? 2 minutes already. There's only 5 of y'all? Crazy. Make sure you guys like the video. Like the video, thumbs up the video, child. We're gonna get into the reading. So what's been going on with y'all? We got a full moon coming up just around the corner. That would be on the 2nd. And we're moving into a month that has no retrogrades or anything like that. For me personally, like of course, like the retrograde was done like on the 20th. But as a spiritualist, I always get hit during the shadow phase. That's the part I don't like when retrograde is coming in and when it's going out. So I feel like I've been going through weird retrograde communication energy lately. Like it's been really odd, but like that's I'm not surprised because it is the the shadow phase that's happening right now. You know what I mean? But a lot has happened, of course, when it comes to the last 2 weeks. Hi, Jabril. How are you? The last 2 weeks. Um, a lot has happened. So I picked a few topics that I wanted to chalk on. So we're gonna get into that. Yeah, the energy's been weird. Like I don't like it's just like a odd, weird communication, like with a tint of anxiety. You know what I mean? And I don't really get anxious at all. So like really tint of anxiety, like just like I gotta be walking along my tippy toes, child. You know what I mean? But I think what was my girl telling me? Because I'm not huge on astrology. And you would think that after being a practicing psychic for so many years, that I'll be big on astrology, which I'm not. I know what I need to know. You know what I mean? When I need to know it. But it's like I'm not like into the charts fully type stuff. Like I'm not that kind of girl. Hold on a second. So my girl was saying that Mercury is in Pisces, and Pisces rules the feet. And it's also a great energy for mind and intuition to merge. Oh, which was like, that's so cool. You know? Hello, Erin. And when it comes to um, the feet for us in Ifa is Alegua. You know what I mean? So he rolls over the feet and like how you're grounding in life and where you walk and where you're whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, so I feel like especially when we get into like Alegua energy, it's usually because we're transitioning into a different time. And that makes a lot of sense because we just had the spring equinox, right? So we're transitioning from it being winter into it being spring. Now, granted, in Toronto, it's still kind of cold. Like I think this is the longest it's taken to get cold, to get warm. But yeah, we're transitioning to great times. And depending on what your release systems are, like for me, most people say that their New Year's on January 1st. I find my New Year is spring equinox. You know what I mean? So glad I caught a live. I know that's right. You make it worth it. I'm happy to count it too. So yeah. So we're gonna get into it because this reading we're gonna be getting into some deeper energies. And I'm working with the Orisha in this reading that I usually don't work with my reads. So I feel like it's gonna be for very interesting times. Interesting times, interesting readings, child. See, yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm doing right here. All right, I don't know what I'm doing right. Okay, I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. So let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna be reading on the Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard situation. I know that happened earlier in the month, but I thought I would touch on it. The Miss Tina Gumbo scandal, child. We're gonna touch in on the Carters. Of course, we can't do that without talking about Jules and Tommy. We're gonna get into just what's overall is going on around Justin Bieber. Might touch on Justin Timberlake. Let's see how we go. We're gonna talk about the Dolphin Man situation. I know there was a request last time for that. So getting into the deep waters of what happens and the mysteries around dolphins and all that good stuff. We're gonna talk about the future of AI. And not last but not least, we're gonna tap into the Druski and my best girlfriend, child, Erica Kirk situation. The Dolphins. Yeah, that was you. Yes, because I was supposed to go on TikTok live, and I decided not to. I had so much things to do because like I'm juggling this, and then this is Carnival season 2. So I was like, okay, you know. So I'm like, okay, let me just bring it. I'm gonna bring that topic back into the next live I do. So let's get into it, guys. We're gonna open up a prayer. Okay. Lord Jesus, we give you all the praise and the glory, God. And we just like to thank you, Jesus. We want to thank you for the victories. We want to thank you for the beautiful things that happen in our life in Jesus' glorious name. Lord Jesus, I pray that you saturate this room with the blood of Jesus from the crown of his head to sole feet, God. And I pray, God, in the name of Jesus, that everybody in this room is protected as we open and explore depths of different energies and maybe even different entities of good in the name of Jesus, that we will explore what the world beyond us in the name of Jesus. I pray, God, in Jesus' glorious name, especially everybody that's in this group, everyone that is a supporter, everybody that rocks with me and supports what I do in the name of Jesus. I pray that you open the roads for prosperity and success in their life in the name of Jesus. And I pray anything that they are looking to set out to do, that they find a clear path into how to go about it in the name of Jesus. I pray, God, in Jesus' glorious name, as we're moving into the transition and transitionary times, and the energies are shifting in the name of Jesus. I pray as the good as people want to move forward in the name of Jesus, that good starts to shift in for their life and they will shift out the negativity in Jesus Christ's name. I'm praying against the spirit of doubt in the name of Jesus. I'm praying against the spirit of stagnation, God, in the name of Jesus. I'm praying against the spirit of not having direction on which way to go in the name of Jesus. I'm praying against people. I'm praying against negativity. I'm not negativity, God. We are praying for those to have the keys in the name of Jesus, the keys, the master keys in their life, in order to open doors and open situations and opportunities to help further them in their career, their dreams, or wherever you lead them, God, in the name of Jesus. I pray, God, in Jesus' glorious name, just to just again continue just to overflowing love and prosperity over the room in the name of Jesus, that everyone can be entertained, everyone's at peace, and the energy is good all around. Amen. Amen. Yes, the keys. Okay, Jocelyn Terry. Thank you. All right, let's get into it. So we're gonna be reading on Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard. Okay, y'all gonna have to help me build this story because I'm not really so big into reality shows, but I know that what's that girl's name? Who was he once Dwight Howard married to? She has a masculine name. But anyways, a few weeks ago, Amy Luciani took to social media. Okay, Royce, thank you. Took to social media, having a mental breakdown. I'm gonna be honest, from the way that she was acting, she looked like she was on coke her damn self. Okay, but took to social media to, I guess, get the help from the public, and gave us a lens or insight to some of her marital or family problems that have been going on. Some of the things that she was saying, that that Dwight Howard has an extensive coke addiction, and she proceeds to put up a brick of cocaine online because you're just an idiot. Um, and coming to the media for help, saying that he's not being himself, yada yada yada. He's changed. He's lied to the people. His kids was taken away from CAS. All these things just to say that Royce, that was once warning her in the past about the kind of person that Dwight Howard was, she obviously brushed her off. Maybe trying to play the big role, like, okay, she ain't quite like me type of situation, only to find out that a lot of the things that Royce is trying to let her know about this man, she was absolutely right. So she went online. Obviously, they dragged her. They dragged her to hell because she was looking for sympathy in places where she once brought shame to others. And now, moving forward, Dwight Howard has filed for a divorce. Haven't really been figuring out or seeing anything really big on what's been going on with them and transpiring with them after that. Yeah, not that story. That we're not at Dolphin Man yet. We're at the Dwight Howard and Amy Luciani story. So now she is. I haven't really been looking into what she's doing, but I'm going to tap into what she is doing. So I just want to tap into this story because it's just, I find it was an interesting one. You know what I mean? So let's tap into Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard. Okay. Yeah, she is a mess right now. But as well, you know what's so funny? As much as she talks about his drug addiction, like, I feel like she has a drug addiction too. I think the only difference with him and her is that she doesn't behave like he behaves on the drugs. And that's why in some ways she feels like she doesn't have an extensive, like, she's not as bad as him, but she has an issue with drugs just as much as him. And I also see drinking as well. You know what I mean? Because I get the sense that, like, there's a haze that's over the relationship. And when I see hazes like that over the relationship, it feels to me like there was definitely a connection or a kinship that was there that is related to like lower vibrational stuff, whether it be like trauma bonding, whether it be something that has to do with like interest in the same vices, situation like that. What I get with her, he doesn't want her. Oh, I don't get that he wants her, but he hasn't wanted her for a while. You know what I mean? It almost feels to me like at the time that they got together, it's like the relationship was based on superficial reasoning as to why he decided to do it. I don't know if it's like he did it for his get back, or I feel like he did it for a way like he felt like it's what was the best thing to do at the time. But I feel like whatever interest that he once had or he felt like she meant in his life, like, thank you. You know what I mean? Um, Whatever interest that she had that she served, like that doesn't mean nothing for him anymore. I feel like he really wants to go into the imagery of being like a single bachelor guy. Like that feels like that's the energy that he's going towards right now. But he's really mean though. Like I like when I get his energy, like he's the kind of person like you ever see a man where it's like, well, that's part of he's narcissistic. Like he's the kind of guy that he'll write down all your faults in his mind. You know what I mean? So like he has a tally sheet in his head, right? And like you don't realize like the whole time like you do little things, he's like finding every day a new reason why to fall out of love with you or why he doesn't want to fuck with you like that no more. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she was not under the impression or even like it's like she was out to lunch when he started making decisions on what he was going to do next when it comes to her. You know what I mean? So that's the sad thing about her is that she, as much as she feels like she could do something to salvage the relationship, she doesn't realize it's like he's been falling out in love with her for quite some time. And what's so sad about the situation is that I don't feel like it's anything that she did wrong. You know what I mean? I don't think that she did anything wrong. I feel like she literally was like a fucking like toilet paper caught in a nigga's ass. You know what I mean? Like literally would do anything in her power to like show that she was a supportive wife. But it's like the breakdown of the relationship is like he's just not into it anymore. Amongst obviously things that were going on in the household. You know what I mean? But he has a lot of enemies though. But like the thing, like, because for example, like the fact that the daughter got taken away, that's huge. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to situations like that, that don't just happen. Especially from what I'm sensing, I feel like the daughter's not even that young. You know what I mean? So there, I feel like in the house there's a lot of internal enemies. You know what I mean? But he also creates these people in his mind. Like you know how there's certain people in life like they will if through their trauma they will create enemies that are not even there. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's done that. But see, this is the thing what I say about drugs. Drugs like this open portals for negative things to be around. You know what I mean? And when it comes to negative spirits or negative energy, like it's like I said, like the devil, it's like to divide and rule, divide and conquer. So the first thing to divide and rule over a situation, over somebody, is to isolate. You know what I mean? So like I feel like he's being led in a way that he's feeling like he needs to isolate and get away from everybody. And then he feels like through being on his own, like he'll get a lot of I kind of keep seeing gold around him, right? So it's like so as much as you use the reference of trophy wife, it's like he feels like he'll be the eligible bachelor and trophy if he was actually on his own. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's really sad because I feel like she really tried to show him that he could trust her. You know what I mean? And then not to mention, she's been there for him through a lot of shit where a lot like when people was telling her the truth and it was right in her face, like I mean she'll cuss people like a dog for it, for him. And in the end, if somebody were to say something to about her behind her back, like he wouldn't even defend her just the same. Like that's the sad thing when it comes to him. He's a very self-centered man, but it's the drugs that has him so self-centered. Like really has him self-centered, man. He's gonna lose something. I feel like like I see Bank taking something because he's gonna go down this road of the illusion for a while. And it's like she's gonna be so heartbroken over it, but she needs to understand like there's nothing. See, it's like in order to, you have to understand the addiction to understand the person. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to learn about addiction so you can understand what that person is actually doing. Because I think for her is like, of course you're dealing with the person. She's taking things so personally. You know what I mean? And because she's taking things so personally, she's taking it in such a way like she's done something wrong. And she has to understand that a person that is destroying themselves is self-sabotaging. So they will destroy anybody close to them or anything close to them that actually really loves them for real. You know what I mean? But I definitely feel like there's going to be some drama coming up. I see back and forth. I hope she doesn't do anything to hurt herself. Because I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I think she's kind of in that state where she wants to like hurt herself. You know what I mean? Like she's getting, and it sounds bad for me to say it like this, but I just feel like it's sad how much worth she's not putting on herself in this situation. That she's allowing this relationship to tear her down the way she is. You know what I mean? Because it's like you still got life outside of him. Like you're acting like you not being with him is the end of the world. And it's not. It sucks, but it's not the end of the world that you're not going to be with this man. Like that's how she's acting. Like her whole world is like she will never be shit without him type thing. Yeah, she really needs to love herself because she's not. Like she put too much into this man. And that's a problem when it comes to women. It's like sometimes as women, we put too much into a man just because we got something to prove. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when you put your worth and put something into prove in a person, it's like God have a way to like tell the truth to shame the devil, child. Like God would have a way where he will make that person reject you even more. Because in reality, you're being put to the test to really love yourself more. And that's what she needs to understand. But I feel like she's gonna find somebody or find somebody gonna pull her out of it. I see her going to church. I see her seeking guidance from God. Like I see her going to church and getting her life together. But it's gonna take her a lifetime to shake the embarrassment of it. But I feel like she's too like, girl, like she needs to chill. Like she's taking on the depth of the situation much deeper than she should. You know what I mean? Like she's acting like girl, you're not the only person that had to publicly go through a scandal. You're not the only person that had to go through a public breakup. You know what I mean? Like you're not the only person. Maybe the whole thing about the child getting taken away is embarrassing. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy. Like, you know, like that's next level. But she's gonna carry that shame for a while. Like I feel like even though you see her, like she's gonna have a way of like isolating herself, where she does like she'll walk in the room and feel like everybody like is just like clowning her out. You know, that's some inner child shit she needs to work on though. And that's the thing that people have to understand. Just because somebody turns around and either likes you or love you, it's not their responsibility to validate things in yourself that you have not worked on yet. And I think a lot of people make that mistake. That you meet somebody, you're with somebody just because they love you, you've now put the responsibility on them to validate insecurities in yourself that you have. And that's nobody's job but your own. Because the things that you hate yourself for is not the things that they hate you for. The things that you love yourself for are not the things that they may love you for. So like you are accountable for how you really feel about yourself, nobody else. And I think that's what she needs to understand as a woman going through a situation like this. Because there's too much shame around it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see the energy, there's too much embarrassment. And I'm like, why are you so embarrassed? Like I'm not gonna say that I would hate for her to go through a situation like that, but Why are you so embarrassed? Like if you did something wrong. Like I could have changed him. You can't change shit. Like women think that we actually can change man. You can't change a nigga for nothing. That man has to want to change for himself. I need to hear this low key heartbreak in the end of the world. It isn't. I'm telling you. I've been through heartbreak. I've been through situations myself. What kind of man? Oh yes, T Kevin, T Kevin. Thank you, because I forgot that part. Thank you, I forgot that part. Dwight, another part to the Dwight Howard scandal that Dwight likes men. Listen, I don't listen to me. I don't care. Me personally, I don't want nobody that doesn't like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be with anybody that does not like me, dude. Like you're not attracted to me, you don't like me. If you like men, trust me, be with men because I can't offer you that. Like seriously. Even if I put on, he's mostly not, he most definitely does. Marcus is like, yes. The kind of men he likes. It's weird. He likes men. He likes, okay, you got, I don't know what gay term I'll put this in. He likes masked presenting men though. He doesn't like, you know how a lot of men that like to hide their gayness, they usually go for like a trans girl. You know what I'm saying? Because like they'll go for a trans girl where it's like, okay, she looks like a girl, she smells like a girl, whatever, but I get to have the extra baggage to back it up. You know what I'm saying? I think he actually likes masculine, semi-femme men. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get that I get the sense that he does like, no, because he don't like them too young. Cause I was gonna say like twink energy, but I'm like, no, I don't think he likes them too young. Cause there's that he likes that feminine there, but masculine. Like he likes a man that can appear to be discreet. Like he likes that feeling. Because I get with him, okay, because there's men that are like discreet or DL. You know what I mean? But I don't think he likes DL because he likes to refer to himself as the DL. You know what I mean? He likes open gay men, but he likes men that are discreet. Like they could be very masculine, but have like a feminine side to them. And he likes men around his age. I don't think he likes them too young. He likes them around his age. But I get the sense like he's been messing with men even before basketball. Like he's been messing with, like I feel like it all started with like maybe like cousins. Like you know what I mean? Like it all started with like being a young kid and your cousins will come over and like, because I've heard this story a lot. Like your cousins will come over and like they will explore. Like, okay, like how would you kiss a girl? Like it started with that. But he's gonna end up going public with a man. Cause he gonna fall in love with somebody for real. And he needs to do that shit. Cause sometimes these niggas just need to come out and just be gay and be with who you love so you don't make women suffer. Like, really and truly, just be with who you love and who cares. So that you don't let women suffer. Like, I understand you feel like you had to do this and that for your career, child. I get it. But at the same time, be with who you love so you're not letting somebody else suffer for no reason. Because I feel like she knew better. Again, goes back to her. Now I understand what I'm saying. Like she's trying so hard. Okay, that's where the shame and the embarrassment comes from. I get it. Because of the fact that him coming out being gay. That's what the shame and come like, there's too much shame and embarrassment here. Until like Kevin's like, oh, Kevin shuts up. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot there was that part there. Because why are you gonna get mad if somebody doesn't like you? Who cares? Listen, there was nothing you could do, girl. You could have snatched your waist. You could have made sure you got the baddest BBL in the game. You could have did your hair a certain way. You could look pretty, do your makeup nice. You could do whatever you want. At the end of the day, if a nigga don't like women, he don't like women. What are you gonna do about it? So like that's the weird thing about the whole situation. But she's gonna, girl, this is gonna take her a while to heal. This won't cut her deep. Child. It cut her real deep. I'm not gonna lie. She gonna be with somebody else, but it's gonna take her a minute to kind of get herself back together. But you're gonna hear stuff about some legal stuff and stuff like that. And like down the road, you're gonna see him pop out with somebody. And it's a male. It's somebody that's close around him already, though. I don't get that. Because it's like familiar energy. But it feels like whoever this person is, they're not really out either. But when you see it, like, okay, well, I kind of knew you were gay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the energy it was. But he gonna be happy. But he needs to like his apology for her needs to be as loud as a disrespect. Because regardless of whatever time of day she's on, she don't deserve that. That ain't fair. Like you can't you can't be mad at somebody because you have an inadequacy with yourself. And now you have used that person as your punching bag or your blame system because you haven't done the work on yourself. Or you didn't want to be, you know what I mean? It's not fair. Because now this girl's walking around with scars and she don't need to. She needs to know that she was never the problem. Because you got her feeling like she did something wrong and she didn't. And that ain't fair. So any questions about Amy Luciani and Dwight Howard? Make sure y'all are drinking your chlorophyll, child. Get your greens in. Any questions? No? Okay, let's move on to the next topic, child. All right. So this is something I'm waiting to talk about, man. Because I almost posted a post on TikTok about this. But I was like, nah, we got to get up into this. Because okay. I made a comment one time. And if this is a celebrity psychic, this is one of the, I don't know if it was it was the end of the month recap, but I think it was the end of the month recap for February, or it was the mid-month. It's one of those months. I'll link it in the description box, okay? But we touched base on, we were reading on Jay-Z. So I remember Auntie Audio was in the group, Auntie Audio was on live, and it was one of those readings I did that wasn't supposed to be on the list, but I had time, so I squeezed it in, right? And well, I was talking about Beyonce about her pot. She gonna bubble up her pot and do what she gotta do and make sure that she protect her man and she protect her family. Sure enough, not even 2 weeks later, less than a month later, Miss Tina Child decides to do her gumbo or sell her gumbo at the Houston, what's it called? The Houston Stampede, I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. As you know, when it comes to the Houston Stampede, it was very interesting, and people are very surprised that a woman of her stature, a woman of her caliber that has a Houston barbecue thing. I think it's Houston. I think it's the Houston Stampede because we have something like that in Canada, but it's the Calgary Stampede, right? So, or barbecue thingy, rodeo. There we go, the rodeo. Okay, so a lot of people were surprised, like, damn, okay, Miss Tina's coming out with her gumbo and whatever. There was a lot of speculations surrounding the actual recipe of the gumbo. One of them being that she said that it was a gumbo that she has been have boiling for at least 16 hours, which most people that have made gumbo, they go the longest that gumbo usually takes is about 4 hours at maximum, because considering the ingredients that are usually in gumbo, it would be complete mush if you were to put them on for 16 hours. Now let me say, we don't know if she's actually talking about the roux, because she could be talking about the roux, like she make her roux boil down, child, for a while, and then she adds her ingredients after. That wasn't clarified, but of course that's what she said. Another suspicious speculation that people had about the gumbo was the fact that the gumbo was being served during the hot Houston heat. Anybody that is real gumbo connoisseurs know that gumbo is not something that you make in the heat, child, which is true. Now, get me wrong. We all know, like, over the last couple years, we'll see little jokes and trends about people that will make their soup or their caldo when it's hot. You know what I'm saying? We don't eat, thank you. We don't eat gumbo in the summer. See, I'm from Canada, so we don't got like gumbo. Like, that's more of a South thing. We don't really have our own stews and stuff. Our winter is stew vibes, exactly. So that's another thing. So going into that as well, what had happened was a few people end up getting sick from eating the gumbo. So there was a couple of people that were online throwing up, this, that, and the third. Now, allegedly, we can't say that that actually contributes to the gumbo that they drank. You know what I'm saying? From Chicago, so y'all eat gumbo too, right? It's a whole thing, Kevin Child. So they threw up food. Yeah, they said they got food poisoning. Okay, and it was backed up that there was a chance of it being food poisoning, because when it came to the health and safety department, child, there were certain things that were not in regulation. For example, the proper heating or cooling for certain items. Certain things were left out in the name of Jesus. And that's the reason why Miss Tina Starre ended up getting shut down. Lord, shim. Got shut down before the ending of the Houston rodeo. Miss Tina's wrong for it. Thank you. So now we go into now we go into spiritual speculations. So there's people now, especially those on what do you call it? On TikTok, right? As they call Miss Tina Lugaru. Okay? Lugaru in Haitian Creole means like a shapeshifter, right? So like they have like Lugaru is like a cat, but turns into a person. You know what I mean? So like a shape shifting demonic creature. Okay. So there was one girl that was on that was like, I don't know why you bought this soup from the Lugaru, that you know that already she's probably putting on that soup. She's like, why does a woman like her, of her stature, that has all this money and whatever this case may be, will all of a sudden pop up and want to make gumbo and serve it to y'all? And that soup was probably a brew that was mixed up so that she can energy harvest or energy siphon from the people that were buying it. And y'all dumbasses paid $25 for you to make that lady voodoo you. So now there's a big talk about it as well, that pot that she was bubbling was to save her family and whatever the case may be. Now, I found it very hilarious, like I said, in my last video that I did where I spoke about the Carters, that I mentioned, I used that reference that she going that Beyonce gonna do what she does, and then her she'll wait and bloop, 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 bubble up her pot. If you know everything about Usher's stories and cooking and whatever the case may be, you will understand what I was saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, just because her daughter got money doesn't mean that she doesn't want to have her own endeavors, right? So we can't say that. Maybe she felt like it was, as a Houston woman or a woman that was once in Houston or raised her kids in Houston, she wanted to give back to the community, and it fell back on her, right? It all depends, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt bad for Mama Tina, man, because like there's nothing more embarrassing then you give somebody something to eat and it either makes them sick or they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into this and tap into this energy right now and see if Miss Tina Child put juju inside of the pot and was trying to energy siphon from y'all. Okay. Now that's a good question, Kevin. Let's get in it. Oh, I don't think she was trying to. I don't really think she was trying to. I think she was really trying to do. She was trying to launder money. There was some kind of shady shit going on around the business, definitely. But it feels to me that she was really trying to filter but it's weird because I almost get the sense the amount of time that it actually took for her to actually get this thing in the rodeo, there wasn't much time and preparation behind it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Lot. Oh my God, Kevin. Yes, I feel like she was laundering money. It's some crazy shit though. It's I feel like it had to do with Beyonce, Jay-Z, I do. But it's like it feels like it was a front for something. Because I keep on seeing filtering from the back. Like I see behind her and something being filtered from behind her. You know what I'm saying? But it feels like when I'm getting the energy, it's like money energy. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like I honestly feel like there it was something that she's always wanted to do, but I feel like it's like they brought it to her as hold on, let me let my dog out. This is so he always like tries to here you go. You guys go, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. So I feel like 'cause I see energy being pulled from behind her. Like it's like I see her standing over and talking to people, and like there's energy from behind her coming through. Now I'm not lying. That could mean that though. But I almost get the sense I don't feel like it was like direct from Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like it almost feel like it was like her peoples coming to her. Like say for example, um, like she's mentioned she wanted to do this gumbo business, right? Like, yeah, like I want to sell my gumbo and whatever the case may be. Like, maybe I want to do a whole little Pat of the Bell situation where, like I get it like in stores and whatever. But maybe we should start off small and like, like whatever. I like almost like an idea in the air. You know what I mean? She probably mentioned it to Beyonce. Wasn't really thinking about it. Was working on it a bit, but it feels like she's working on other things too. You know what I mean? But it feels like her people's on her end was like, you know what? We got some things that we can do. How about we try out this project that you got, this gumbo thing, and let's see how we can steer some things through there, And her being like, okay, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? But it feels to me like there wasn't enough preparation. There wasn't enough research like behind what they were doing. You know what I mean? Oh, not to see? Okay, that makes thank you. It makes so much sense because it almost feels like it was on the table, then it wasn't. But it focused on this, and she was just kind of like, you know what? How about you go do? You know what? Let's try and see what happens. We'll pay for everything. We'll give you the money. We'll put down that we're gonna buy this. We're gonna do that, and it's like, oh, okay. And all of that was done. You know what I mean? She didn't want to learn the recipe for something like that. Okay. Or Beyonce said she didn't want to learn the recipe herself. Okay. I don't know, but it feels like it's kind of like that energy. Like, let's see how this goes and whatever. And money was being filtered. But I see like because when I see I'm seeing the energy. Ooh. You know what it reminds me of? You know, like Princess and the Frog? Yeah. But see, the thing is, a lot of people said it didn't taste bad. They go, it didn't taste bad, but it's not gumbo. You know what I mean? Especially her coming from Louisiana. People are going to expect an authentic Louisiana gumbo, right? But they said it wasn't a gumbo, right? It feels like what they said it was like it tastes like a beef soup. You know what I mean? It's not like it's bad, but it's not the best thing. You know what I mean? Like when you're thinking gumbo, and you know already when it comes to people from Louisiana, they are sensitive as fuck when it comes to gumbo. Like sensitive as hell. You know what I mean? I feel bad because I think she feels really bad about it. I think she feels like she was intentionally sabotaged because that's the energy I get. You know what I mean? Yeah, making people sick was terrible. Now, let's be real when it comes to this, right? Even though the brand was Miss Tina's brand, we have to understand in a lot of ways that she wasn't out there serving the food, right? Like, usually when these things start going on, like rodeos, things like that, whatever the case may be, like these people like start to do their hiring process like maybe a month at best two before the actual event. Because I work in event planning. I've been in event planning since 2011. You know what I mean? 2010 rather. So I work on events and everything and big events and that, like, you know what I mean? And on average, usually hiring is not done at least until like a month or two before the actual event. You know what I mean? Before gates open or whatever the case may be. So you got to consider, I'm not sure what's required in the state of Texas, much as in US. You know what I mean? Like in Canada, in order to work with food, even being a worker, you have to get a food and handler's license. You know what I mean? And that's not just as a business, that's also like individuals that are handling food. You know what I mean? Just so that you know that things are up to regulation and whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, okay? When it comes to these when it comes to these stalls or any of these food things that are going on, you usually see the younger crowd, high schoolers, college students. You know what I mean? That usually are working these stalls. You know what I mean? Depending on how much they actually give a shit about what they're doing, they're not keeping up to standard, right? And a lot of people mentioned too, like that was one of the hottest date, like that, like what you call it? Like Houston's usually not that hot around that time, and it was one of the hottest weekends. You know what I mean? There. So as much as people want to talk about like food and handling or how things happen or how things were spoiled, you can't really put it on Tina. I just think that maybe she didn't have a crew working for her that was that experienced, or rather yet being as understanding how things should be up to standard. And it made it even worse because of the heat and things were in the proper temperature. Because there was stuff that was in the proper temperature where, like, say, like it was shrimp, and shrimp had to be, you know what I mean? It had to be served cold. You know, it was left out in the hot sun. You know, shit like that was happening. But like that's not Miss Tina's fault. That's whoever was handling the food and was serving it. But it's her name. You know what I mean? But I get the sense like it has something to do with hiding money, though. It's like I see money energy. Okay, let me call it money energy. Like it has to do with filtering money energy, but almost like putting it in a sense of hiding, though. Yes, I've been hearing that, especially during the time, because it's like, damn, like up here, no, but like it's been really hot. So it's like it. At the end of the day, when you own a business, regardless of who did it, it's your business. You know what I mean? It's your name. and they're gonna say it's Beyonce. Like how everybody gonna act is like Miss Tina was literally right there up in the midst while it happened, when nothing like that really happened. So it really sucks what happened with the whole situation. I get to say, do I think that it wasn't do I think that she had like negative intentions? I don't think it was fully to her knowledge, no. She knew it was some fuck shit, but at the end of the day, she knew she was doing it out of the guise and the pride of her family. You know what I mean? So like I feel like Miss Tina sometimes too, like you gotta understand, just because Beyonce is her daughter, like Miss Tina ain't like a businesswoman like Beyonce. So a lot of times she can go question her. That's exactly it. Because it gets tricky with gumbo. Because let me tell you something. We're not even talking about the standard of gumbo and it being served right. People are picky about gumbo. People, Louisiana people or people that know gumbo don't play about gumbo. Like when you hear Louisiana people talk, like I know this is Texas, but when you hear people from the South talk about gumbo, like it's a work of art. Like it's like us talking to Jamaicans talking about jerk chicken. Like you know what I mean? Like we don't play when it comes to jerk chicken, especially when we put on the barbecue on the big catty barrel barbecue and everything like that. Like we don't play like the same way how the white men in the South don't play about their barbecue. Like they don't play about Texas barbecue either. Like that's the shit. Like you need to know how to jerk too. Like you gotta know. So like I feel like she was like she didn't come prepared for that. She didn't come prepared to come up against that game. Like if you were gonna come up, like it gotta be gumbo to a teacher. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely better be fire. Like I ain't gotta taste the best of the best because you already know that because you're Miss Tina, people are gonna be criticizing you. Hold on, Glory. Oh, sorry, sorry. Sorry, I had to call my dog in. I had to make sure she was inside because she likes to play and the door is getting closed. But yeah, girl. That's what I think. Any questions about the gumbo situation, the gumbo scandal at all? Any questions? I just heard reinstated. She may get something reinstated. Some PR cleanup is gonna happen here because it's like, what if you notice anything about the Carters or the Knowles family? Like, as things are being said, it gets dust up. You know what I mean? Like, they never leave a scandal. They don't leave no stones unturned. Like, they never leave a scandal sitting as a scandal. What was her ex-husband say towards her? I missed that. What did he say towards her? Did he say, see my hair? Tell me. I want to know. Oh, Matthew Knowles, of course. I'm thinking about the other ex-husband. Matthew Knowles said in an interview he did more work in the buildings Destiny's Child. Okay, and that's the thing, right? Because I understand, like he's not wrong. Because thank you. He's not wrong. Because let's be real. It was really him that made the moves business wise and really got on them when it comes to rehearsals. And that work ethic that Beyonce has, she learned that from her father. We're not gonna take that away from Matthew that he has done that. Like, see, the thing is that we have to understand is that two things can be true at once. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Knowles was the engine, the motherboard, the transmission to Destiny's Child. As much as he was a piece of shit, as much as he has done some things that were shady and definitely has failed Beyonce in ways as a father, at the end of the day, he was one heck of a manager. We can't take that away from Matthew Knowles. Because if it wasn't for that, Destiny's Child and Beyonce would not be where they are today. When it comes to Mama Tina, and I think the biggest thing is because how Beyonce now treats Mama Tina, how she obviously takes care of her, is all that. She was the image of Beyonce. She was the image of the group. Because remember House of Darion, you know what I mean? She was the image that made all the costumes and whatever. And we have to understand when it comes to Destiny's Child, the image, as much as the singing and everything, the image is what really captivated a lot of people. You know what I mean? When it came to Destiny's Child. But I think for him, it's like when he sees his daughter right now and how she deals with her mother, opposed to how she deals with him, considering like what she has and how much of he was behind why she has it, is why he looks at Tina with such disdain. Like, what did Tina do so great that I don't deserve, or you don't treat me the same? But you have to understand, Mr. Knowles, that Beyonce loved her mama. And you have not been good, nor respectful, or had any empathy when it regards your mother. And to be honest, probably not even a lot of empathy and respect when it regards Beyonce. Because that attitude you have, like you made her, makes you almost feel like you're entitled to any way that you want to fucking treat her. And anybody in the family. And I think that with narcissistic men like that they don't seem to understand. Like, it's like, it just came out of nowhere. I don't know why all of a sudden she don't want to talk to me. Because you have disrespected, violated people in the family that love and care for certain people. And when you have been confronted likely about some of the things you did, you haven't justified that you had that you're in full right to do it. So fuck you, I wouldn't give you $1 neither. This is why I say, man, I used to work in nursing homes. You feel me? And I would sit there to myself, because I'm thinking about my mom and my dad. And I would sit there and think to myself, like, how do people have their parents in nursing homes and they don't have any of their children come up to see them? Like, I used to have some of my ladies I would work with, like, nobody will come up to see them. I'm working there 2-3 months, I've never even seen their daughter, whatever. But you wonder why in older age, why people do this stuff. Because once you get to a place of being an adult and you acknowledge right from wrong and you stop normalizing some of the abuse, and people don't understand that abuse doesn't mean just getting your ass whooped, but abuse is why you see people like Matthew Knowles on his own. And what it seems like, he ain't living as nice and lavish as the rest of them. You know what I mean? So, like I said, when it comes to Tina and it comes to Matthew and what was done for Destiny's Child, two things can be right at the same time. He does seem kind of low. Nobody fucks with him. And it's like, on top of that, too, again, when it comes to the industry, it's like you could be up here today and be nobody tomorrow. Everybody could love the shit out of you today and give a fuck about you tomorrow. You know what I mean? And I'm sure in certain places, like, say, for example, is thank you. Say, for example, like, you never know. It's like, it reminds me of Lost Ones. I don't know if you guys know the song, Jay-Z's song, Lost Ones, right? That's one of my favorite songs. But like when the line where he says, like, you know, motherfuckers saying that they made whole. Okay, if you did if you made whole, all right, then make another whole. You know what I mean? So it's like same thing with Matthew Knowles. He's probably trying to make another Destiny's Child, and he can't use those same connects because those same connects and those same people are now have their loyalty and pledge allegiance to Beyonce. You know what I mean? But hey, I guess all he can say that he has evidence of it. You know what I mean? This is what I've done for my daughter. How far he gets with actually making something happen, hey, that depends on the Lord. But I don't know, I see a weird energy around him too. Hey. I'm not sure if he has that much time. Cause he wonky energy around him. I'm not sure if he has that much time. I'm wondering where his health is right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I get on the whole Miss Tina gumbo situation. So we're gonna come out of any questions before we come out of this energy? Any questions? Oh, yes, I see there's 19 people in the room. For anyone that's coming new back into the room, please be sure to support your girl and like the video. And of course, if you guys see at the bottom of the screen, typically there is an option to press hype. Please press hype for your girl because it helps smaller YouTubers like myself get seen. And my views getting seen and shit like that, child. So, girl, child, like hype the video, hype it up, child. Any questions? All right, so we're gonna move right along. It's funny because we're reading within the same family, but I'm gonna break them up into whatever. But we are gonna be reading on the Carters. That is Beyonce, Jay-Z. I don't want to read on Blue because Blue's a kid. You know what I mean? But Beyonce and Jay-Z. All right. Beyonce and Jay-Z, child. All right. So Jay-Z, most recently, which I loved his interview. I don't know if any of y'all got a chance to actually see the interview that he did recently. It was really nice to see him. Like, remember I told you in one of my readings, I said, when we think that he's gonna be gone, okay, we're gonna get into that. when we think that he's gonna be gone and disappear, he's just gonna appear. Well, here we go. Jay-Z's appearing. I get when it comes to Jay-Z. See, this is a thing what I get with Jay-Z, and that I respect. And a lot of people get upset with me about stuff like this because, like, especially my boyfriend, because it's like I'm not really like a subscriber of like mainstream artists and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Not like I'm saying that they don't deserve the recognition. You know what I mean? But I think we associate mainstream with something that's not authentic. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to industry and maintaining being relevant. You know what I mean? We kind of have a way of looking at people that are figures in that game of being fake. You know what I mean? But the thing with Jay-Z that I love, first of all, I grew up listening to Jay-Z. Like I have, like back in the CD day, like I have damn near every album that he has up until 444, up until 444 on CD. Okay. Coming from Jay-Z being like that flashy, superficial type rapper. You know what I mean? Like it's all about the jewels and what you have and money ain't a thing. Throw it up in the air. Bitches, hoes, bitches, hoes, bitches, hoes, bitches, hoes. That there is a great deal of humbling and groundingness to Jay-Z that I admire. I feel like he's a person rising to the top doesn't rising to the top doesn't just happen for those that follow the rules of the game, but those that maximize on it. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've admired about Jay-Z. That it's like you didn't just play the game, like you found ways to maximize on it. Like where you are and where you sit was very intentional and you are willing to do the work and do what was necessary to to rightfully sit in that chair comfortably. You know what I mean? Um, I feel what Jay-Z, he's getting in a space of like rebranding himself. Why I feel like he knows that this is necessary, not only in defense of like what's being said about him, but I think him not saying much, he feels like it's allowed people to create a narrative of him that is not real. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there comes a point where it's like, I've been through a situation like this before. It's like people will use you for their own content. You know what I mean? So you have to be mindful on what you speak on and what you bring to the forefront, because at the end of the day, depending on how personable the situation is, you don't want to allow people to take something that you hold so near and dear and serious to yourself or in your life as a joke. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you got to protect the entities and the people that are involved in those situations where they can be dragged in or dragged into situations that they don't need to be. You know what I mean? I think that because he's been careful, it's allowed people to create storylines that are not true. And it's not fair to create speculations on somebody when you don't actually have concrete proof, right? Concrete proof or validation from a reliable source to back up that very thing that you're trying to put out there about somebody. Somebody not defending themselves does not give you does not give you the liability to create whatever you want about them and push that narrative like it's true. You know? He has a Sagittarius Sun, Libra Moon, Sagittarius Mercury, Venus. Okay. See, reading all this, I know this stuff, right? And it makes sense when it comes to his Libra Moon. Because Libra, this is the thing with Libra energy. Because I have a Libra Mars and I have a Libra Venus, right? As much as like Libras can be very diplomatic and fair, there's always a fight for balance. You see what I'm saying? Venus is Sagittarius, Mars and Aquarius. Okay. Okay, there's always a fight for a balance. And if you're in a space of being imbalanced, that can always determine how you choose to justify a situation or how you act just in a situation, right? But I think that when it comes to Jay-Z, like he knows, like he's the old guy. So it's like he feels like he's not at a place when he's looked at media, first of all, Jay-Z has been, even though there's been rumors that over the years about Jay-Z has been really good at keeping it to the music. You know what I mean? That's another thing I admire about him. Like, he's been really good to keeping it to the art form of why the fuck he's really here in the first place and why y'all even see him. You know what I mean? And he hasn't really gotten himself into like drama. Like, of course, everyone has a 1-2 rumor that goes on about them, but there has never been any confirmation or whatever the case may be, in a manner where it's disrespectful to any parties. You know what I mean? And I think for him, he realizes now that the world is owed it. And also when it comes to making a way possibly for his daughter, that it's necessary. Because he knows now that he doesn't only have himself to think about. You know what I mean? Yeah, like he's not giving 50 Cent. But like, you have to understand, when it comes to 50 Cent, that's his niche. You know what I mean? 50 Cent get people going with who he has drama with, who he has beef with, how funny he can be when he's teasing somebody. Like that's his niche. Like so he knows 50 Cent does that to keep himself relevant. You know what I mean? When you hear him talk, that's what you expect. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Jay-Z, Jay-Z's really kept it to the music. He's kept it to the tour. He's kept it to the art form. You know what I mean? I think with Jay-Z, like that's where he, cause I think after going through what he went through, cause he even touched on the whole thing about the girl making accusations about the rape, you know what I mean? And how much that really affected him as well, you know? Because in life, there's nothing worse than somebody accusing you of something when you so strongly advocate for something specifically when it comes to um like your mission, like who you are as a person, and somebody that accused you of doing that. You know what I mean? Like he is a father, he is a husband, he has daughters. You know what I mean? Like having his image out there like he rapes women or have forced women to do certain things, it goes against the man that he wants to be, especially when it comes to what he feels like he needs to be for his daughter. So shit like that fucks with him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, I actually go out of my way to be a decent person. And for somebody to put me out there and say I'm doing something I didn't, that's fucked. That's fucked. Because it's like, yo, I'd rather you, if you said this, you said that, but to tell a blatant lie that can completely, that like, is like purest defamation at the highest form is the most fucked up thing you could do to somebody. Considering, you know, like, you're not even going off of anything that's actually true. You're just speculating. It doesn't have to make the truth be the truth. It doesn't have to make fucking sense. But just because somebody said it, now everybody believes it happened. You know what I'm saying? And that's the shit that he did not like about that. I feel like he's still gonna play the background though. He still is. It feels like he's still gonna be maintaining his assets and what he's gonna do. He might come out with some music. I see some like EP or any something like this happening. It feels somewhat like a collaborative effort. You know what I mean? It gives me like a collection of different things happening, but I feel like he's just giving something to the game. You know what I mean? It's like the energy that he's going through, but he's in that very humble, like, I'm getting old, like it's time to settle down. Like, if a young boy wants to hear what I gotta say, like I'll give him advice. Like, it's giving pops energy. Like that's where he is at this time. But it really hurt him that he got caught up in a lot of mess that regarded like raping women or children or whatever the case may be. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you have to understand when it comes to the MC files that people don't understand. Like, yeah, you see certain things in the files that people have done, but these people will say, you have to understand that the Epstein files was a pool, it was a pool and a baiting system. You get what I'm saying? By the Israelis. Because they, as a people, when it comes to their culture, is all about the next scandal. It's all about what I could do to blackmail you to do what I want you to do. If you notice how much politicians or people that are powerful people in America were all filtered in that situation. This is a man that is going to do things and get you to do what he's doing so he can later use it against you. You know what I'm saying? So just because people were on flight lists doesn't necessarily mean that's what they were there for. And I strongly believe I don't get exactly what that he wasn't there for what they said. I feel like it's gonna come out like a different sub part of why people would go there outside of what people really thought was really going on there. Because it wasn't like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they can't expose things to every and everybody. Like not every and everybody gets to see what really goes down. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's out of space right now. Like he feels like things are calming down a bit. Like I said, when it comes to the Carters, you will hear a scandal and it will get scrubbed. Just like no stone goes unturned. Like It's not like rumors just get to sit around and speculate as much as they do. Like, you know how you see certain celebrities a rumor will speculate and it just sticks to them? Hey, imprint of a fashionista. Like a rumor will go around and everything just sticks to them. Like when it comes to the Carters, they don't play that shit. They're like, yo, you're not gonna be able to look me up on the internet, child. And the first thing you see is a scandal attached to my name. You gonna see my music and my tour and the great things I did first and what I really do out here. You can't stop what people post for the most part, but we ain't gonna make that stick to our image. Like that's how the Carters roll. You know what I mean? Any questions before I move on to Beyonce? No, any questions about Jay-Z before I move on to Beyonce? I'm going to answer that Beyonce question. I'm glad that you actually said it again. But any questions about Jay-Z before I move on to Beyonce? He would definitely. I feel like he would definitely continue with NFL. I feel like he's under a contract with them. Like I don't get it's one of those things where it's like it renews every year. Like I get the sense that it's like something that like he probably has like a few year contract with them. You know what I mean? Yeah, of course, definitely. Does Jay Z have a side chick? No, he is over that because I get like you have to understand. So like there's men out here that could be unfaithful and do things and whatever the case may be. Jay Z has gotten to do anything that a man has been able to do. He's been able to be with every and any kind of bitch that a man could be with. And at the end of the day, what's something that he's learned, it's not worth it. Because what you lose for what you think you're gaining is just not enough. So do I think he's cheating? No. I feel like he used to have somebody he'll go back and forth with. Like back and forth with. But I feel like for now it's like it's giving pause, bro. Like I'm literally seeing him live sitting in a leather chair in like his man cave smoking a cigar. Like it's giving that. Who do you think he'll pick next for his halftime show? It's feminine energy. Yeah, it's feminine energy. I don't think no, it can't be her. It can't be Megan. I don't know if Megan Stallion has a catalog like that. I just saw Megan Thee Stallion, but I don't think she's the headliner. You know what's so sad about this all? He would have chose Nikki, you know. He would have definitely chose Nikki. That's the sad thing about it. That he would have chose Nikki for it. Thank you. She probably makes an appearance because I see her. But I'm like, I don't think she has a catalog that extensive. But how long, you know, Megan Thee Stallion's been around for a while, though. She doesn't perform like she used to, but neither did Rihanna. And she was able to pull off a poor performance, and she's pregnant. He probably could choose Taylor Swift for sure. I could see that happening. But I feel like it's somebody he's gonna choose that has an extensive catalog. But you know what? Katy Perry, especially when Katy Perry did it, but I don't know if he was in control of that. Katy Perry did do a Super Bowl even when her catalog wasn't so extensive. Because I would say that Katy Perry and Megan Thee Stallion are neck and neck. Yes, because it's giving that. It's like when I see like it's like the catalog. It's like their extensive catalog. Because I don't think like even though Exactly. Yeah, it could be that. But you know the thing is, because it's like even though like you would think, okay, maybe we could choose Cardi B, but like Cardi B's like catalog is not that big. Like she don't have that many anthems. Not because of her success and how good she does. It really relates to like the timing, you know? Remember like Cardi B went 7 years without putting on an album. Maybe Beyonce but I don't think so. I don't think Beyonce don't want to do that again. I don't think Beyonce wants to do another thing. But I see Megan though. I literally saw her this like her side profile. So she might come out. You know what I mean? But yes, anyways, let's move into Beyonce because we have a good amount of stuff to read on, child. We're like, and I'm going through it slow. I'm literally on my third reading, and we're like an hour and 20 minutes in, child. So let's move into Beyonce. All right. All right. So let's tap into Beyonce, okay? And let's see what's going on around her. Beyonce's a lot calmer now. It feels like the chaos has calmed down around her. Because you have to understand it's not just about media, like it's how it's affecting the family. You know what I mean? Because I feel like Beyonce and Jay-Z are really good parents. And I feel like everybody, you know, being a 14-year-old girl or being a teenage girl is hard. You know what I mean? And it's really hard when you're trying to come up, like for example, be it like seeing like there's you see the little specks in the play around, like Blue carrying on the legacy. You know what I mean? And every parent, when you set your kid out into the wild, you want to protect them. You know what I mean? I People are gonna be mean, people are not gonna be so nice, but you want to prepare them or at least pave a way for them, you know? Because you have to understand too, like when Beyonce was her daughter's age, or Jay-Z was their daughter's age, like they didn't have to face the things that she had to. You know what I mean? Like it's a big shoe to fill. You know what I mean? And it's big shoes to fill considering how much criticism comes on all angles. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like her concern for her daughter is lessening, or her concern for what's happening is lessening, because I think she's starting to see and realize that her daughter can handle more than she gives her credit for. You know what I mean? I guess it says what Beyonce is like. I heard the word vendetta. You know what I mean? But I heard like there is, as much as she loves what the industry has given her, she resents so much of how much she resents so much of how they've treated her. You know what I mean? Like it goes with like what I say. Like you work so hard. Like you have a level of integrity. You know what I mean? Like you're like this is like you have this, like your whole mission and how you present yourself to the world, you stand very strong behind it. And it it doesn't it always takes a jab at the heart in some way when somebody tries to take that. Like she's always been like it's almost in a way, even though Beyonce's been Beyonce, like Beyonce always feels like she still has to fight to be Beyonce. Like she doesn't work hard for no reason. It's not just because she's good at like that's what makes her sane is how hard she works, but it's almost like she has to justify where her spot all the time so people realize like this is the reason why I have my spot because I work as hard as I do for it. But there are people that have the spot or the light like Beyonce does and didn't have to do half of the work. So like it almost gets to the point like, are you moving into overcompensating now? Like she that Virgo blood, like of course she's like a perfectionist. You know what I mean? But I think she's realizing in places in her life where she overcompensated. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say that just now. Okay, so Beyonce's a Virgo sun, Scorpio moon. Okay. Mercury Libra, Venus Libra, Mars Leo. Okay. Jupiter Libra, Saturn Libra, and Uranus in Scorpio. Okay. Okay, that's why she has that spiritual side to her, where she's really into her spirituality. Is that Scorpio moon? Her Venus in Libra, that makes a lot of sense. Her Mars in Leo. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Listen to me. Go sit down because you just went outside. So, hey, you guys go sit. Go sit down. Um, See that Leo in Mars goes into like how she is and how she presents. Like she has to be the best. You know what I'm saying? And she has to see. It goes back to what I was saying, like fighting for your spot. Like always having to fight to be the king of the castle. You know what I mean? It's just like, damn, like the seat got your name on it. Why you gotta keep fighting for that seat? Ain't nobody fighting for it for you. Like, and I think she's coming into that now because I think as she's raising her daughter and she's, working with her daughter, it's just like, okay, I want her to have the worth ethic I have so that she's able to be spot on when it comes to perfection. But when it comes to who she is, if I have to understand where I projected those things, like my struggle is not her struggle. You know what I mean? Like I was coming up in a time where R&B and hip hop and that scene was making its turn into mainstream. You know what I mean? Like she's not gonna have to go in through that. Like people like your father and myself paved the way so that that you with your talents were able to have a space and be just as relevant as say the white person. You know what I mean? That 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 is coming up against you or with you. You know what I mean? I know exactly. So I feel like she's in that space. Like she's learning that she needs to calm down. And she's getting to the point of like her attitude's like, you know what? I don't care. You know what I mean? Like she knows, okay, she's trusting that she feels like everything doesn't have to feel like she has to run around and damage control. Like she's getting to a space that she's trusting her power. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference of knowing that you have a power and trusting your power. She's getting to a space where she's learning to trust her power. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. How does she feel about Aaliyah and other singers? We're gonna get into that right now. So she's getting into that space right now in her life. So I feel like you're gonna definitely see. It's weird because I feel like she's gonna do some snippets. I feel like she might do some features too, but I think she's gonna start doing some like snippet artistry. You know what I mean? Where it's like instead of like coming out with a whole album, it's like I drop a song. You know what I mean? Like instead of it being like, for example, like instead of like, oh, I'm showing everybody because I'm coming out with a tour, it's like that could lead to some product that I'm doing. You know what I mean? But it feels like sneak peek. It's giving sneak peek energy. It's like I give you enough to see, but she wants to tell a story. You know how she told the story with Lemonade? Like she wants to tell a story. Because she's been vulnerable with us, of course, but I think it's like her fuck you to the industry. Like it's almost like when you give your all to something in the name of, and in the end, was it worth it all? Like it's giving that kind of energy. Like, yeah. It's about like power. Like it's giving that kind of energy. But it's almost like she was just able to solo exactly. It's almost like like through her daughter, she's learning. Through her daughter, she's learning. Like, hey, some of the shit I had to do was not normal. Like some of the things that I had to go through at a young age was not fair. Like, no. If for whatever it's worth, these people gonna know how I feel about shit. Because at the end of the day, whether I actually did my best and I actually showed you that I was loyal, or I did everything y'all wanted to do, it still wasn't enough. Y'all still fucked me over in the end. Like that's the energy I got. So moving along, we're gonna ask. There's a couple questions that were asked in the live. How does she feel about the Nikki situation? She sees it for what it is. Yeah. She don't like when people talk about her family. It pisses her off, but she sees it for what it is because she's not stupid. You know what I mean? She knows exactly what the industry does to people and what exactly is happening to Nicki Minaj. Like she knows she's crazy. So it's like she's seeing it for what it is. Like how much offense can I really take to it? But she's keeping an eye on her though. Like it's almost like you can say some shit, but as soon as you say some shit, that shit's gonna boomerang and find itself back to you. Like, cause that's just how I got my shit set up. But at the end of the day, she's a victim. She sees her as a victim. She kind of sees her as a victim to the industry, like a byproduct. You see, I was talking about this earlier. I was talking about this in my like 2026 reading. Like all those people, those big names, like it's like I won't waking up and like in the end, like what the fuck was it even worth it? Like we believed we had to do these things all these years, but in the end, it's like believing in the boogeyman and realizing that it wasn't even real all along. Like it was like look at what shit I did for the sake of the fucking boogeyman or running away from the boogeyman, and he wasn't even real. Like that's the energy. But he's like you're just like looking at the byproduct of it all. Like the bomb goes off and now there's arms and everything. Like this is the ricochet of it all. Listen to me. Hey, Prince, don't be rude. Leave her alone. Sorry, my dogs. But like that's the energy. That's the energy. Yeah. And when you have children, you like come on, get out here. You wanna protect them from that. She's learning a lot via her child. That's where she draws the friggin' line. Prince, that's where she draws the friggin' line. A Schaefer growth. Um, is Blue really her child? Yes, very much her child. Um, I would love to. What it said? Does she watch TV? Like, what does she do for fun? She definitely watches TV. She watches a lot of social media too, child. I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce's watched me before. Joking. Somebody actually, Azila Banks told me that. I don't know. I'm not sure she watched me, but Azila Banks actually told me that. She's like, Beyonce's watched you before. I'm like, okay, but that's what Azila told me. I don't know, but she watches regular people. She pays attention a lot because like she has to stay relevant. She has to stay up for time. She knows of bodies. She thinks it's funny. Like I can see her being like probably like a Jocelyn Hernandez fan on the low, and Jocelyn don't even know that. That she'd be laughing at Jocelyn Hernandez. You know what I mean? Like she watches, she sees what's going on. Like people have to understand, like there's a part of Beyonce where she's so regular that people don't realize that she's not regular. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like going to work. He's like, you know, when you go to work and you go with your boss, and it's like they're like big boss at work, and it's like, oh my god, and it's like whatever. And then you hang out with your boss for the first time outside of work, and you realize like, yo, you're just a regular ass dude. Like you're just like you're normal. Like it's like that's her. People don't realize how regular she can be. But she's very particular about who she has close to her. She has to though. Shit. You know what I mean? That's why she don't got. That's what her name's out in the papers. Like say Nicki Minaj's name will be in the paper. You know what I mean? Because she keeps her people around her air tight, bro. Like these are people that genuinely like love her, or like this family, whatever. That she knows that her business is, even if they fall out, that her business is not on the streets. What kind of gaggy when you see that side? It's yeah, it is because it's kind of like oh, like she's just regular. Yeah, Nicki Minaj. Oh, Nicki Minaj kicks back and watches. Nicki Minaj. I wouldn't be surprised if Nicki sees all this shit people say about her. Like I could see Nicki on Twitter put her name in hashtag, and she's like, she be seeing it all, especially them late nights when she's doing blow. She definitely is watching that shit, but she don't care though. She's out of it. Poor Nicki. I feel bad for Nicki. Like I feel bad in the sense because it's like she can't help what like the industry just fucked her up. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you feel bad for the person that went to work, that they came back and they don't have their arm. You know what I mean? Like it's sad, but it's like he's, you know, at the same time he signed up to go to the war. You know, and that's the problem. She got too much. Like when they say the saying that goes, "Devil find work for idle hands." There's nothing no truer than that, man. Like when you have time to think and you have time on your hands, bruh, the devil will find you the worst things to think about, especially people like her, like that are in that paranoia, that paranoid lower vibration entity fucking with you type shit. You will create stories that don't even make sense, that like nothing in this world would ever give you evidence that it would be true. But here you are fucking running your mouth online because, you know what I mean? You're manic, you know? So I feel bad for her, you know what I mean? And I hope she gets the help that she needs. And the only way she gets that is when, you know, when the levy's given and she can free up a bit, you know? So there's a lot of that with that. That's what I see. Any more questions about Beyonce? I feel like she likes to play games. 'Cause I just saw her throwing like, what game is that? It's like the throwing the ball games. It's like golf, but not golf. But she likes playing games. She likes to be competitive. She likes things where she can like be competitive and stuff like that. That's like her hobbies. I would be surprised if like she has a hobby of like board games too. Like anything where she gets a chance to compete. So we're gonna move into that. How did you feel about Aaliyah? I don't feel like she knows a lot about her. I feel like she feels like she was a great talent. But once upon a time, like somebody she sees that was evidently like competition. But I don't think she saw her. As much as people try to paint the picture that she was competition, I don't think she really saw her like that. She just felt like she was so, because you have to understand that during this time, there was so much division between where you came from. You know what I mean? Like people were like, remember Beyonce never from the South. So people like, okay, you listen to only like a South type of, oh, he's from the like. So I feel like she didn't feel like they were in the same rank when it came to what people were listening to. Not to mention she was in a group. You know what I mean? So as much as people try to put this thing out there, like there was like a competition or intimidation, I don't think so. Yes, Beyonce is actually initiated. She's very much is initiated. Kim was like, I'm just like, she cannot beat me in Connect for I know that much. Yeah, she's very competitive. Does she like Taylor? She respects Taylor Swift. Yeah, she likes her. I would say so. Yeah, she likes her because she doesn't just like her because she respects artistry. Like you actually play your instruments. You know what I mean? Like you actually can write a damn song. Like she respects true artistry. Like that's something that she doesn't like about the industry that's not there anymore. Like you had to actually do the work to come out with that. Like where's the artistry? You know what I mean? What about Rihanna? I think her and Rihanna have their ways. We already know what it was giving. I don't think that rumor with Rihanna and Jay-Z having a thing, I don't believe that that wasn't true. I feel like it was true. So she knows what it's giving. There's an acknowledgement, like a respect. Like, okay, you're doing you, but like at the end of the day, you fucked her man. So what did you expect her to do? What do you expect her to feel like her? I feel like she respects Cleese. She does respect. She likes Cleese. She does. She does like Cleese. Like Cleese and Nas, like she liked them. You know what I mean? She really likes. She digs Cleese's vibe. You know what I mean? But I think she thinks that Cleese doesn't like her. It's one of those things. Like, oh, okay, I mean, she's all right, but I don't think she thinks she likes me too much. Like, sees herself in Taylor. Yeah, she does see her in low key. Yeah, she does. It's one of those people like like you could like you ever have that person at work where you're like cool with and you can respect them, but you don't really talk to them, like you don't really get into them that much, but you acknowledge them and say, yeah, you know what, keep it up. Like it's that energy. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I didn't know about that. Nas, listen, Kevin and Marcus Mars are huge fans of Khalees. They do not play about Khalees at all, child. Does she sabotage other singers? No, she doesn't need to. Jay Z said it the best. Like, why would I feel like I need to get back at Drake? I'm Jay Z. She doesn't need to. She's never really in a while. She's never been put in a position that like whoever she's had to compete for top spots or not even really artists or more like back in the day when it comes to certain actors and actresses like entertainers. But she never felt like she had to compete with any of these hosts. Like that's like not in a rude way, but it's almost like they've never been in her league. You know what I mean? She never really had anyone to go toe to toe. Because, like, for example, if we're gonna talk about singing, you could try to compare Mariah and Beyonce with singing, but you can't compare them because Mariah is not a dancer. Beyonce is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, that's like see Kevin's like that's like my Beyonce. Yeah. Girl, when you put the trademark behind people's name is so hilarious. Khalees is a plot base and she ages gracefully. She sure is. I love Khalees. Khalees is something else. But that's something else with Beyonce. Like, if it were up to her, she had the patience, she would be like a big exec, you know? She wouldn't mind doing like being like a what is it, Tommy Mottola, like one of them ones. Like what like what's the next guy's name? The one that the when Whitney Houston died at his party. Like when his party was going on. We should do movies again. It has to be something that's like it has to really be it has to be groundbreaking for her to do it. Like it would have to Clive Davis, like a Clive Davis. Like she wouldn't mind being that if she had the time on her hands, child. I would like to see you read on Tyler Perry one day. I will. I will. I'll tap in. Because shit, I should have stopped there. All right. So any more questions about Beyonce before I move into the other half or part of the Knowles family, the Knowles Smith family? Act three predictions. What's Act three? What's Act three? Oh, this is gonna make for a long life, child. Because I got four other people to read on. after this. You know, I'm gonna knock that one out. I have three more people to read on. Her next album. Ooh. Yeah, like I told you, I mentioned before, like snippets, sneak peek, like blink. Like it's giving that. Like it's like sneak peek. It's almost like I feel like it's not really about what's on it. It's not really about the. It's not really about what's on it. It feels like the art. There's more artistry about the rollout, how it rolls out. She gonna always make a body of art. Like that's just her. But I feel like she's gonna be more creative about the how it rolls out. She may have gotten some inspiration from Cardi B. Like, ooh, I didn't even think about that. Like, you know what I mean? But like being creative with the rollout. You know what I mean? I want to see Blue. She might have Blue on the album this time too. But Blue doing something that we're not used to her doing. Like, of course, like how Blue can dance and stuff. Like maybe Blue does some piano, like does a piano on a song. You know what I mean? He's Tyler Perry's just an old gay child. He's one of them Facebook gays. I swear. Tyler Perry just needs to come out with it. But at the same time, people don't need to come out if they don't want to. You know what I mean? It's not our place to be like, just say you gay. Like, who cares? Like, you know? But we already know what it's giving. I've never seen Tyler Perry as straight. Like, I could see it with it's giving lavender marriage. You know what I mean? Like he could love a woman because of who she is and like really stay down with her as a woman because he likes her as a woman and likes women, but he not really attracted to women. You know what I mean? Did she ever cheat on Jay? No, I don't think so. No, no. She might have. 'Cause I just saw a dancer. I think he would try, but no. Like I can feel like Beyonce's one of those people that would try just to see what went through his mind when he did it. Like almost like that. Like what makes people cheat? Like almost like that. You know what I mean? Like it's giving that energy. Not like she would ever actually do it. Cause she's content. Cause she's like not an over sexualized person. Like sex for her has to be, and it sounds bad me saying this movie, but sex for her is like it has to be a connection. It's not like my shit's hot. Beyonce and LeBron. Beyonce love her some Jay Z. I don't know. Beyonce's one of those women that if her and Jay Z broke up, she probably end up by herself, child, and probably be like her mother, like later on in life, find love, like find Mr. Jones. You know what I mean? But other than that, she'll be alone for a while. She loves some Jay Z. Because the thing is, too, Beyonce's one of those people that like I feel like she would want to be alone because she doesn't even remember what it's like to be alone. You know what I'm saying? She would want to experience it. Like, what can I do where I can just get up and do what the hell I want and not have to answer to nobody? You know? Like she's never had Beyonce crazy that too, like what it would be like just to have a regular life. Like what would life would be for she's like she enjoys being Beyonce. But what would life be if I was just Beyonce? You know what I mean? It probably could have been him, but it feels like somebody that worked for her. But they respect her though. Like they're not the type of person that would leak her business. Like they respect who she is. As the energy I got. Yes, child. All right, so let's get into the next part of the reading, child, because we've been talking Beyonce for a long time. So let's get into the Jules. It's Jules Smith, and I was gonna say Jules Santana. Anyways, Jules Smith and Tommy scandal, child. All right. So we've been seeing Joel Smith a little bit more often, as you know, that he has an extensive He's been making his name for himself when it comes to the fashion industry. He's been modeling and things of the sort. Um, but we're starting to see him kind of peek out a little bit, when especially like one of the things that came up recently that he was booked for a gay event. So there was speculations around if the fact that he was actually gay or not. Um, but along with that as well, some people in the gay community were upset at the fact that they booked a non-gay person for that event. Um, Moving into that shortly after, of course, I think a week after or so, because I'm not sure exactly what the gay event was for. I know it was somewhere in Atlanta, but I'm not sure for why it was going on. Um, he's been in Atlanta, and he was caught up with Tommy. And as you can see, with his night out with Tommy, she was evidently drunk, because Tommy's been having an issue with keeping her shit together when it comes to her sobriety. And there was a paparazzi like video taken where there was seen that they were making out. Also, there was a part where Tommy was straddling him in the club, and people are now speculating if Jules is messing with Tommy, if they're gonna start dating, and whatever the case may be. So let's get into that right now and see what's going on. Him and Tommy are wild. Yeah, Jules is at a stage in his life. Yeah. Like, Jules is giving young dumb full of cum. Because I'm getting with him is like he will peel Tommy's legs back. Like he don't give a shit. He's at that age like where he's like, whether they come small, whether they come big, whether they come young, whether they come old, whether they become old, like I will lick down whatever. Like that's the energy I'm getting. Like I will hit down whatever. Any one of these girls or these hoes can catch it. Like that's the energy that Jules is in. He's definitely attracted to Tommy. Like Tommy's not just good looking, but she has this certain je ne sais quoi. Like he's loving her. He will lick down. He's like that. Like you ever see? Like I grew up with a lot. I have brothers, and on top of that, like I like had a lot of guy friends. In their younger years, like they will hit down anything just to say that they put that on their roster. You know what I mean? He's at that stage. He don't care what it is, bro. As long as it looks good, smells good, maybe even tastes good, I'm going for it. Like that's just how it is with him. But his mother knows that he has that side to him. Because I see her just kind of like, no, Jules, you're taking it too far now, kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as much as she disapproves of the situation, because she's just kind of like, okay, this is not a good look for you, like, considering Tommy. And we don't want, because, okay, Solange is not as caught up on the image of the family or whatever the case may be, as much as her standards are, as much as Beyonce's standards are, because she never really, Solange, if you see her, she's always trying to be her own person. You know what I mean? Have her own set of uniqueness. If y'all haven't already, make sure you guys like the video, child. And if you haven't, make sure you press hype. It helps smaller YouTubers like myself get seen, child. Anyways, she knows that. So she's trying to like kind of stay away. Like she don't want to taint the image that much of her family. But at the same time, she doesn't want to always attach her image of what she does to them. You know what I mean? Because she's her own person. It's just that she so happens to be related to them. But I feel like when it comes to Jules, the Tommy thing in him is not going to last too long. It's not going to last. Like, I feel like it's like straight piping. Like, and that's how much I feel like it is for Tommy too. Like, it's just straight piping for them. They're just having fun. It's a good time. Like there's just like the aura, like this. I just keep on just seeing her aura. Like there's something about her aura that keeps drawing him in. Like yeah, like it's like that's a grown ass woman. Like that sexual side to her, sensual side. Like that is what has him. Like it has him like ding. Like that's what has him. Is that like he gonna mess with her for a bit though. It's not gonna last, but I can see it like, okay, say like they have a fling for like a few months, they're doing their thing, da da da, then they stop talking. Then a year goes by and they stop talking. A year goes by and okay, there's no contact. And then one night in the middle of the night, she calls him and like, hey, what's up? And he knows how good that shit is. He's going back to pipe that again. Like that's kind of like the energy. Like that's the energy with him. He's in a young, dumb, full of cum stage right now. Anything, any girl can catch it right now. That's where he's at right now. Like he's not at a place where he's really looking for wifey. He knows he's young. He knows that there's a lot more that he needs to learn before he's really gonna put himself in a position to like settle down with nobody. But hey, if you want to catch the pipe, I got the pipe for you. Yeah, like he's 21, like he's young, like you know what I mean. Like his libido and his hormones are like through the roof. Like, and she's like the embodiment of sex, like sexuality, sensuality, like sexiness. Like she's experienced. Like she knows how to touch him. Like she knows how to, like like damn. Like I never felt that before. Woo, woo. Like yeah, she have him like that. Like I'm telling you, he could be on the other side of Atlanta, and she could be like, "Yo, what you doing?" And he will be flying there in no time. Like that's how she has him, and that's what it's gonna really be. Is I think the essence is gonna always stay sexually based, and I feel like over the years or like time, you're gonna see them kind of closely be attached to each other in certain ways. But Tommy is like, Tommy has that spicy side to her. Tommy has that side where she could be violent. So he got to take her in doses. It's like, okay, I can't get that deep with you. You know what I mean? But he might buy her a bag or two, bring her flowers and shit. Like she overlook at him like, oh, like my young boy. Like, oh, okay, like, like that's the energy I get. But like for that to be in like a serious relationship, like a Dre on her type of nigga type situation, I don't think so. It feels like it's very sexually based. Any questions? Any questions? I see y'all coming in and out of the room. If you haven't already, please help your girl out. Like the video, child. And if you haven't already, be sure to hype the video as well. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question now, or the next topic. Okay. Any questions? All right, so let's move right along. Okay, let me take a sip of my water. I'm feeling kind of thirsty. Okay. So we're going to move into the topic of Dolphin Man. Okay. So now I'm going to ask that you guys build this story as I go because this was a question that was asked in the last in the month recap, and I didn't get a chance to really tap on it. I did look up a couple things online, just I've seen a video or two on the topic. I didn't get into it too deep, but we're gonna tap in and help me build the story as we go. If there's any parts I miss out, please do feel inclined to add your tidbit, and then we'll go into tapping into the situation. Okay. So the story that I got when it comes to the Dolphin Man situation, that there was a man, I feel like he was an architect or anything. Please help me when it comes to his title. But his story was that he was kidnapped by a group of dolphins and he was brought underwater to build up their like infrastructure and their construction of whatever world that the dolphins have underland, underwater. You know what I mean? How he was able to do that is because the dolphin would blow air pockets into the ocean so that he was able to actually be underwater for extensive amount of time without actually drowning. Because of course he is a human, he cannot breathe underwater, right? What made the situation so like they had very intricate cities, very intricate towns, and whatever the case may be. What made it so interesting that doctors, after dragging him out of the water, I guess finding him on shore, based on when they test his lungs, it's like his lungs was okay. How the capacity of how much water could be in his lungs, or how much time that he was able to be underwater and be breathing would be something that would not be of natural existence. You know what I mean? So as it's correlating that the story that he has given the people of what happened was actually true. I actually heard and confirmed this for me. I'm not sure because sometimes I'm not sure if it was a reliable outlet, but they said that there was 20 dolphins that were killed after the fact, and they feel like it's related to the whole expose of this dolphin man, exposing these dolphins and these underworld worlds that they're building. Okay, what is so crazy about this situation? Okay, we're gonna get into it. What could be so crazy about the situation? I remember a couple years ago. This was actually when that ocean. What was the name of that ship that imploded? That watercraft that imploded and killed those people that were trying to go see Titanic. The Ocean Gate. Okay, this is around the Ocean Gate era. So this Ocean Gate happened with 2023, right? So like I'm a water spirit, whether being, not just being a Scorpio, but like I'm very water energy. You know what I mean? And like when it comes to like Ifa, like we have like our calendar. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things happen in certain seasons, almost like an almanac, right? And I remember around the Ocean Gate time, like there was a lot of stories of like orcas that were actually attacking humans. Like they were trying to sink boats. They were trying to like the orcas were acting bad. And I remember I'm like, okay, like there has to be something going on in the waters that the humans are doing where the orcas are upset. You know what I mean? Because we have to understand that when it comes to the water, and especially all creatures of life of water, like they reside in a certain vibration. You know what I mean? As you know, wants justice exactly with pollution and waste. But people have to understand, especially when it comes to certain occult structures, that they use a lot of water spirits. You know what I mean? When it comes to how they carry out their mission and how it works for mankind or attachment. But they do that and polluting the vibration of the water, not just with pollution, but just even the vibration of the water, will cause for shift. You know what I mean? As you know, when it comes to dolphins, dolphins are very high vibrational beings. And when it comes to, this is my theory, okay? Um, Dolphins possibly building their own cities, their own towns. Dolphins, dolphins contribute a huge amount to the ecosystem of the aquatic life. You know what I mean? And I think within it comes into the aquatic life itself, like dolphins are well respected because they're technically mammals too, right? Exactly. Ocean. Like they're well respected species within the water kingdom. Like for example, like when it comes to the jungle and in the wild, like how lions are well respected in a certain degree. The same I feel like happens with dolphins. But it's like not like whales feel like they're more like there's something more ancient when it comes to hierarchy when it comes to whales and obviously their size, but there's something special that the dolphins got to offer. You know what I mean? Um and it's mermaids. I 110% believe mermaids are real. Um Especially like okay, like in Ifa, like we have Yemiya, which Yemiya is technically like a mermaid. You know what I mean? Um I feel like these underwears are real because, like I said, I'm working with Olokun. Like Olokun is like not just prosperity, but Olokun is also like innate wisdom. You know what I mean? Like the deepest waters of wisdom that you could know. You know what I mean? So when it comes to this dolphin man situation, I feel like it's I don't I'm gonna be honest, it sounds crazy. I actually feel like it's true. You know what I mean? I don't feel like this is our first encounters humans first encounters with dolphins and humans on this caliber and things that have been built or things that have been done. I think that he has been the first one to actually that they've allowed for the public to speak on. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like it could be seen as true and it could be seen as not. But you remember I told you when it comes to the extraterrestrial or beings outside of ourselves, you know what I mean? That like the veils between that and the existence of us knowing it will thin. The only difference is that still sits as a question in my mind is as to why this is happening, right? As spirit says to me right now, it doesn't have to do it as to why, because my why is falling in a space of my understanding of where my mental capacity finds it to be comfortable for me to see reality, is what they're saying. Oh, okay. But it's like we have to understand that the closer a close oh, okay. The closer that we get to the sun is when things the closer how things start to change. And then when it comes to the balance, it's like, oh, okay. So this is what I'm hearing. When we hear about like the Bible stories and we hear about things like things that talk about the creation of our time, you know what I mean? A lot of the existence of how things happen is when the extraterrestrial was more involved with working with humans, right? So helping like them build a foundation, a fortress for what is supposed to shape forward for mankind. We have gone so far away for for how am I saying this? Because I'm seeing like the globe and it's like it's turning over and I'm seeing like an axis, right? So we're pulling far away from what we're pulling to, we're tilt. Okay. Okay. This is how I'm going to use. Say, for example, right? We're going to talk about keto, right? For an example, because we're going to use the body, right? So what? Okay, so everyone knows about the keto trend, right? Or that's happened, where it's like you are fasting and only eating certain things so that your body will go into ketosis, right? And when your body went into ketosis, your body would naturally eat or feed off the fat storages that you naturally carry within yourself and carry within your body. You know what I mean? That's what was happening when your body was going into ketosis. So the equilibrium of the aquatic world is being pushed so far beyond its resources, that the ocean is responding by eating up the resources that it has to bring itself back into balance again. You know what I mean? So that's what happens when it comes to our world. You know, when we get to a space of pushing it too far into darkness or too far into it being polluted, it's like a ticking time bomb goes off and it starts to resist that negativity, resist that access to bring it back to the equilibrium of where it's supposed to be. So when that happens, usually, like, okay, like for example, when you are faced with darkness, your angels will come to protect you, right? Like if you're in a dangerous situation, that's when the angels will come in and step in and intervene, right? Because like I said, for every devil, there's two angels, right? They'll come in to intervene, whether it's to actually save you from that situation or it is to protect you from that situation, right? So where the extraterrestrial gets involved, they show up when things are imbalanced, right? So things have been pulled so far imbalanced that the veils are thinning that is allowing extra help to come in. This is why these underworld structures that these dolphins are bringing, that underground structures that these dolphins are trying to build, is to keep balance and to keep light and the vibrations high within the aquatic kingdom. Okay? Like that's why we had the orcas attacking human boats. Like it's like we need to protect the space. You know what I mean? Like I feel like as humans, we like downplay like a lot of animals' roles in the water in ways that we feel suits our understanding, but not how they do things culturally and how they coexist with either species with each other. Because we have to understand, like when it comes to the ocean or the seas, like there is thousands, trillions, how many feet of water that we have not explored. But we always want to act like we already know what's going on. You know what I mean? But as much as we have our own kingdoms, government, like leaders, you know what I mean, helpers, balances on earth, the same thing happens in water. You know what I mean? Like the same way how we look at a fish as insignificant that it can't breathe our air is as much as um, the aquatic world looks at us that we can't breathe theirs. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's why that kingdom or whatever is built. But I feel like the dolphins know that humans can do it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it takes a human touch. It's like fishing. So, for example, like I could either put a worm or I could put a smaller species of fish on a fishing rod, and that would help me catch another fish, because that's what's native to their waters of something that they eat or they're attracted to. You know what I mean? When it comes to humans and getting humans to do things that they need, that is something native to what they're attracted to. So it's like we use the human as bait to create so that we can have our dwelling where we are. You know what I mean? So in so many ways, it's like when it comes to this whole situation, I believe is true. And why this is. Thank you. Thank you for saying that it was well described. 'Cause I almost felt like I wasn't. I'm channeling, so I'm like, okay, I hope I'm what I'm fucking saying is making sense. But um, we we should pay attention. We should like one thing. Okay, I don't know if y'all see like there's like this hip hop alien that's out that I think what's his name, Space God, or I forget his name, but that is out here and he makes jokes, right? And and he would make jokes talking about humans, like y'all paying rent, doing all these things, and these things don't pay rent. Like can you tell duck that he can't fish, that he got to pay for that? Do you tell bird, like, does a bird need a passport? Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like you can always tell, you will always know what's going on in nature based on, like, what's going on in the world based on how nature responds. Like, for example, right now it's still cold outside. Usually it's like by this time it would already get warm. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like at times they mess with the weather. You know what I mean? Like, what's in the air, what is in what's going on will always, nature will always reflect it. You know what I mean? Or mirror it in some way. But I think that what it's mirroring is change. Like, literally the fight for light. The fight to keep light prominent here. Because it's like those that are evil, like, they have to understand, like, we're made in this image. We're made of light. Like, yeah, you may want that, but you'll never have that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going on with the Dolphin Man situation. Any questions? No? Oh, actually, I should wait. Any questions? All right, so we'll move right along. All right. So the next thing that we're gonna move on. This is the second last topic of tonight. Mother Nature is pissed. I'm telling you, yes. The second last topic that we're talking about tonight is the future of AI. Okay. So I don't know if Kevin's in the room to hear this, because I know Kevin really wanted me to read on this topic, but it's getting late. We're already 2 hours in. I'm like, no, I'm lose at this point. How far we've been in the live, I'm gonna lose some concentration as we go, chat. All right. Okay. So let's get into it. You're welcome. Okay. Okay. So the future of AI. Okay. AI has been a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's been a blessing and a curse at the same time. I wouldn't say so much of curse, because it's not like AI has not made people identify. Like, it's not like AI has not gotten that far that we can't tell what's real or not. You know what I mean? And we should be grateful for that. And let's hope it stays that way. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But in a lot of ways, especially when it comes to AI, like, I think that if we're looking at it from a spiritual sense, and when it comes to a sense of the 3D going into the 4D or 5D, that we're getting into, it's like we are slowly being. Sometimes we could say it's programming, right? Or other times we could say that maybe the world or the right people are intelligent enough to be able to ride the wave of the expansion and the involvement of who we are as people. And evidently that's true, because, like, evolutions is always going to be the end goal. Like things are going to always change. Like, what was going on at my parents' time, during my age, or what they had for technology or what they were eating or whatever the case may be is completely different to my experience as opposed to my child's experience. You know what I mean? Um, AI, I feel like as much as it presents itself um, as something that is being as is to simplify our access to how we do things in life. And in a lot of ways, people could say that it could benefit the rich man when it comes to um, eliminating human interaction when it comes to certain things. Um, I feel like AI is a gateway to open ourselves and desensitize our things, desensitize our minds and our beings to what's yet to come. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you gotta groom people or groom situations before you actually let people really see the double whammy what's really going on. I feel like in certain ways, personally, that's what's happening with the AI. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, evolution's a must. So mine's there's always gonna be that generations that will always speak against or not be so privy to it, right? I think the future of AI, no matter what, we're gonna always need people when it comes to operation. But I feel like the future of AI really actually enhances the alignment of our mind or the human brain and technology. Now, when it comes to how that benefits, it can benefit in many ways. You know what I mean? It can benefit for when it comes to a company or an outlet that creates a product that can help people using mechanisms of AI, or it can help and evolve in ways where there can be more control when it comes to the mind of the person. But I think that's something that they've already been able to do. Um, or when it comes to eliminating or minimizing access to minimizing revenue or so what am I gonna like your bottom line. You know what I mean? I feel like coming up for the future of AI, I feel like we're gonna see like how much more advanced it's going to get. I get the sense the reason why that things have not been taken to the next level the way it could be or should be is because I feel like there's a lot of things when it comes to artificial intelligence that is still governed by certain laws of what how much freedom it has. You know what I mean? I think that this is something that has been predictive in a way because I feel like when there are certain patents and things like that, like patent or things like that have gone before certain courts or whatever the case may be, there are certain laws that have um, prevented for it to have as much precedence as it's aiming to have. You know what I mean? So I do get the sense when it comes to AI, I feel like AI, there will come a point in certain ways where AI would even be able to change how one gets their license. You know what I mean? 'Cause I seen one the other day with the because even when I was in LA, it's crazy because we don't have that here yet. But when I was in LA, there was a lot of self-driving cars. You know what I mean? Or like I was just like, this is insane. And I know there's been stories of like accidents and stuff that have happened, whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, it's like you cannot fully rely on technology. Like there's always gonna be human intervention in some way. You know what I mean? So as much as people feel like our future is gonna be ran by robots, it's like there's always gonna be a need for human intervention. You know what I mean? But I think in certain aspects, and this sounds crazy, it's like Yeah, you know what I mean? In certain aspects, and this sounds crazy, like I think it's opening up a door for us to be in cahoots or in alignment with extraterrestrial beings. Right. I think it's a Waymo car. But I was seeing like it was like a sedan. It wasn't like the Waymo car. It was like a sedan, like regular cars. I was seeing in Beverly Hills. So like it was like just regular cars just driving themselves down the damn road. I was like, what the like, you know what I mean? But I feel like in certain ways there will be some, yes. Hold on, give me a second. But I feel like there'll be some ways where licensing could be like, say people that haven't been able to get a license, that you could actually like get a car with a specific license that's a self driver type shit. You know what I mean? Do you think Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT, is shady as fuck? He gives mad scientists. Like it's giving mad scientists. And it's like you have to understand when it comes to technology in itself, a lot of the what we've channeled and what we've created that we feel like has come from us has actually come from the extraterrestrial. Like who built the pyramids? Remember, when it comes to the pyramids, that was once the most like craziest technology at the time. Still is, but who built the pyramids? You know what I mean? So it's giving mad scientists like he has forces that have control. You know what I mean? But he's really under strict jurisdiction himself. You know what I mean? Like it's like whatever he does is very much controlled. Like it's like somebody that has like you know those like put like a Pinocchio puppet, like like that. Like that's what I get from him. But I feel like his intentions for what he wants for mankind is in the best place it needs to be. But I don't think he's a he can't control much of what like how that goes. He has a rule book. Yeah. Any questions? But yeah, when it comes to AI, it's gonna get more advanced. It's gonna get more advanced, but I still feel like there's strict rules on identifying what's real and what's not. But I definitely feel like it will be a huge part of our generation and future to come, and there'll be more advanced aspects of it. Did you see the girl who was in a yes, that has her boyfriend, and that can actually work. You know what I mean? That can actually work for a lot of people, especially if you're a person that is not that like you're not stimulated emotionally in ways when it comes to physical touch. But I have a feeling like how they have sex dolls, like they're gonna have that. Like you're gonna have people like full on in relationships with robots. Because it's like you're gonna be able to create the dream partner or the ideal partner you want. On top of that, sexually satisfy you maybe in ways that a regular person can't. I almost get the sense that they're gonna even do that. Girl, chill. I just saw that. I feel like robots are even gonna take over the sex industry. Because imagine when it comes to diseases, STDs, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, child, you don't have to worry. And then also too, when it comes to money, because I don't know if it's either Japan or China. Like, I just see this sounds crazy. Ooh, I don't care, but me, I'm a Scorpio. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Like I just see sex, like glory, not like like glory holes. You ever seen porn like those glory holes? No, not is that a glory hole? It is a glory hole. But they have them in like Eastern European countries usually. And it will be like a girl, and it's like she's covered from the neck up. No, from the her torso up or her chest up. And like men will just go and like just go and screw the girl. You know what I mean? Like you don't get to see her face, they don't see yours, they do their business and they just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna have stuff like that, hubs like that, but with robots. And like you're gonna see them be mass produced. And it's gonna be cheaper. So instead of you paying like, I don't know, $1,000 for a hooker to spend a night with you, you can just get them you get one of the little robots. Put it on max. Zoom. And give you the slop 1,500. And you paid maybe $50. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like AI is gonna take over some industries like that. Like I see shit like that happening. Like I legit see that. Like I see the legs laid out like this. Like I mean, I feel like I pay like $50 and get in an hour and no. And it's cleaner. And it's cleaner. Yeah, the massage polish. Yeah, man. Like I feel like the sex girl, you gonna see the girls get mad. Chat. You gonna see the bitches get mad. The ones that are on the stroll, the webcam girls, they be like, what the hell? That's exactly it. Yeah. hmm it gives cheap, quick, healthier, safer sex at a low cost. And it's almost like they can run that shit like a vending machine, child. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Like that's the energy I get. Any questions, child? This is, oh, my phone's been so. Oh, my mommy had to come back. Any questions? Oh, it's almost 12 o'clock. Okay, 12:30. Okay. Yeah, look at Jules right here. Ciao. All right. All right. So we're going to move into the final, last. Will STDs go down? Oh, hell yeah. There's a cure for a lot of these. Like I said, there's always been a cure for AIDS, HIV, all that. But I feel like that within the next 2 years, they're going to start trial running like the cure for HIV and stuff. But see, listen, like things like PrEP is making a lot of money, child. You know how these pharma big bucks guys are. So things like PrEP is making a lot of money. So I don't know. It's 8:56 p.m. there. Yeah, because you're on the West Coast. It's almost 12 o'clock here. It's not even how late it is. It's that usually my lives I try to make them not so long. Like usually I try to stay within an hour, but like when you're doing like a mid-month or end of the month recap, there's so many events that happen within that time. So it's not exactly easy to, you know, yeah. Yes, vaccines are bad for you and birth control. Hell yeah. They sure are. Because enough of these, first of all, anything that prevents your body from doing something that is not natural to the course of what your body is doing has its side effects. Some could be extreme, some could be mid. Okay, so your central time. Yeah, your central time. Because if you're central time. So you're probably like in Chicago or like Midwest-ish area. Yeah, but things are subject to change, but hey, this is evolution. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, people thought that the internet was a radical idea. And here we are. I'm online talking to y'all if it wasn't for the internet. Oh, you're in Alabama. The South. I've only been to the Florida. I've never been anywhere else in the South. That's what I plan on doing though. Like I want to go to the South. I want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to Louisiana, but I've only been to Florida. I've never been to Georgia before. Is Virginia South? I've been to Virginia. My dad actually used to live in Virginia when he was 19. Yeah, from the age of 19 to like 22, he used to live in Virginia. And he went back to Jamaica. And then after he was in Jamaica for a bit, and then he came to Canada. And that's when he met my mom. But yeah, I'm going on a tangent like you even asked me that. Anyways, yeah. Any questions related to the future of AI? That's just tidbits of information. But you'll see some legal shit coming up too. People, you know, trying to fight against patents or evolutions, or people petitioning to have more jurisdiction or lesser laws or lesser control in certain areas. But you'll see the future of that happening. See a class action lawsuit too. That's coming up. Maybe for ChatGPT, but a class action lawsuit coming up. It's a pretty big one too. All right, so let's move into the last topic of the night, and we're gonna wrap this up, child. Okay, so we are gonna read on Druski and the Erica Kirk controversy with the parody that he just really did, or just recently did. So this was last week, or I'm gonna even say last week. This is like probably a few days ago. Druski, as you know, Druski is an African American. Mainly was known in the urban scene for doing skits and parodies on real life situations and things like that. Yeah, he is. It's extraterrestrial. Yeah, I didn't even know that they were talking about. I didn't even know who the guy that owned it. But yeah, um, but yeah, so he's done that for years, and he's been gotten a lot of. But he does parody on real life situations. Of course, some of them could be triggering to different audiences because, of course, he does do things that it relates to race. Like one time, he just recently, which was funny, he did like a couple months ago, he did a parody on like the Vietnamese culture and in the nail scene and whatever the case may be. Of course, he did like a white face or a white body for like a NASCAR, kind of hillbilly redneck type situation. And now recently he has dropped his video doing a parody of allegedly making fun or poking fun at Erica Kirk and the whole TPUSA situation. Okay, so like I'm not surprised because this was bound to happen, and like I said, the last time I think it was my last reading that I read in. You know what I mean? When I touched on Erica Kirk, her actually putting out something or saying things. It's funny we talk about triggers, right? She was saying things to obviously trigger the Black community or whatever the case may be, so that they can use us as a distraction, right? And I was talking about that when it comes to the Black community. I don't even think it's only a mental note that we're making. I feel like even in a physical like I said, it goes back to Babylon's walls will fall. So whatever mentality or whatever has been projected over us, like we are getting to a space that we're not allowing the triggers to do what it used to do for us. You know what I mean? Um, and it was crazy how he was able to do a Una reverse and come up with his parody poking fun at her. But what really put the icing on the cake, where I was like, okay, you know what? Druski's a bad man for this one. He said he put up a post saying too far, because as far as we've been concerned all these years, we never knew that Druski was mixed, or Druski had any close or any direct white mix or heritage at all. We were just under the impression, even as Black people, that Druski was a regular old Black guy until he posted a picture of his granddaddy. What's crazy about it, when he posted the picture of his granddaddy, child, yo, Druski looks just like that white man. Just. It's funny you mentioned people like her on her. Oh, sorry. Oh my God. When I saw this skit, I could not stop laughing. Too freaking funny. Girl. That, it was comedic gold. That's what I love about Druski. Like, his timing is immaculate. And just the things that, like, he's read the real book on comedy. You know what I mean? Her costume designer. That's why, okay. And if y'all seen that, I took to Twitter, I took to YouTube post, and I took to Instagram. I'm like, so what you gonna do? The typical shit that you do to try to trigger us Black people. What, you're gonna put up something coming in a KKK outfit? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick out some outfits that I think you're gonna choose, okay? Or I would rather choose for you. Here's a woman KKK draping outfit. And as you can see, you know the old school Jezebel in the Bible stories picture? How Jezebel getting pushed out of the window? Here is Jezebel, and you can try to use that as well. Here are some ideas for her costume designer. But, like I said, when it comes to Erica Kirk, Erica Kirk, she's not quick-witted. You know what I mean? And I feel like that Una reverse that he actually placed, or that Una reverse that he used, was not one she was actually expected. Because when it comes to Erica Kirk is one of those people, and when she's around, that she's been able to get by just judging people of what she thinks of their race, like being prejudiced. She's been able to get by being prejudiced in a lot of ways when it comes to certain people. Because at the end of the day, the people that are around her that protect her, or her upbringing of people that protect her, have allowed those things to be okay and allowed those things to be just enough for you to navigate in this world where you feel like you are above the other person. She's not necessarily that clever. You know what I'm saying? What I actually feel like is happening with Erica Kirk, and it's crazy because it's like, I keep on telling you, the mask is going to always slip with that woman. You know what I mean? Like, you are, like, first of all, many people, Druski's not the first one. There is right now a drag queen, I think he's out based in LA or California, that has gone viral. He's even selling merchandise, okay? Where he is doing a drag version of Erica Kirk. He's a white man, granted, but you have not heard anybody, like a Pete from TP USA, he probably hasn't even been sent a fucking cease and desist, nothing regarding him that actually goes out and performs on a nightly basis, not to mention probably getting gigs, probably getting all types of shit by going out and doing parodies of you, okay? You are so quick to forgive the man that killed your husband, to the point that you yourself are even angry and pissed off at Candace Owen, that is once a really good friend of your husband, and the things that she says when as a wife that just lost her husband and got her husband assassinated in front of millions of people, should be literally rooting for this woman, if anything, about when it becomes behind who killed her husband. But a parody was put out, Okay, and everybody knows what Druski does because we already know that Druski already did the redneck um, Daytona 500 type parody. That is something that has been done before. What she does not like about what happened is how directly it hit on the character of who she is, and people are publicly, especially on a large platform, showing people who she really is. Like, for example, the part where he was talking, she had the Bible, and she was talking about like she's a conservative Christian, but on the low, she's putting up the devil sign. You know what I mean? About the fact that she clearly is like cold as ice when it comes to what happened with her husband. No, convinced. You don't need to be convinced. Girl, it is what it is what tea. Let's just say allegedly. But all rivers and streams, child, all points, all axis, all tilts, even the hair that's poking out right here that I don't like how it's looking right now, is pointing to the fact that that girl killed her husband. She may not, I don't think she was the actual person, allegedly. I don't think she's the actual person that is involved with who turned on the switch on that, because I think it's beyond her control. But I think she knows what it's giving. She knows what it is. And I wouldn't say that she wasn't that much behind it. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, Charlie Kirk is very much a sorcerer of truth. You know what I mean? And he's not scared of nothing. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was one of those situations where Charlie started to connect the dots, started to cross some T's and dot I's on things or where his wife were involved in certain things. And I wouldn't be surprised that he threatened he'd go and do something. Because if you see anything that has to do with Erica Kirk, she's really good at threatening. She always has this matter of fact look, like I can get something done. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be some regular girl that was like a fucking beauty queen that used to fuck this guy that was a debater. Like what how can you get things done? You know what I'm saying? That's who she is. Like white woman tears. You know what I mean? She weaponizes her white woman tears. She knows how to. She's gotten as far as she has doing that. You know what I mean? When I feel like it comes to the Druski, she's gonna try to get that shit taken down, but I feel like she has to understand, likely like her, like Druski's shit is airtight. You cannot say he's doing whiteface and it's racist because he's actually white. You cannot say that he's actually doing it on you because there's no evidence he never actually said that he did it about you. It's like, for example, and on the fact that it is an artistic piece of entity, right? Or artistic piece of work, right? Like, for example, when it comes to the court of law, you're not why do you think there's people like King Von that would literally go into a song and tell you who the fuck he killed and how many niggas he killed and still be on the street and not get arrested for it? Because you cannot use intellectual property, artistic property in a court of law to sue somebody or whatever the case may be. You can't really use like that type of artistry to sue somebody, because at the end of the day, she cannot prove she cannot actually legally prove in any way if that video is damaging to her image or has damaged her anyway, especially when there's a number of parody videos that have been put out about Erica Kirk and her being this fake widow, whatever the case may be. Because there's many of them. Many. That's the reason why he said too far and he put up his white grandfather. Because the only entity where she would be able to get him on was the fact that he could have been doing something racist. That was the only thing she had. But it's like, you can't even use that against me because this is my granddaddy. My granddaddy, a white man. I'm white. Can't tell me that I'm not white. Same way when you hear mixed people or people that are white person to say nigga. You can't say that I can't say nigga. That's my daddy. Like, for example, like Logic. Logic, when you see him, if you don't look at him too good, you would think Logic is just a regular old white boy. You know what I'm saying? But Logic has a black daddy. So when people are like, "Oh, you say you nigga," da, 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 Logic's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm black. I just like skinned." So I don't think she's gonna get too far on the legal route, but she's definitely gonna try to come through something that counteracts it. It's gonna be some nasty ass shit. I'll tell you that. I feel like it's gonna ruffle some feathers how she goes about it, but at the same time, it's not gonna have the same power because Druski or the community of our community, we got too much back. Like she's fighting a war she can't win. Cause right now, how we are, like it's a bigger crowd. Before it was just the blacks against everybody. It felt like the blacks against the world, right? Now with all this ice shit going on and everything happened, now it's gonna be the blacks, it's gonna be the Hispanics, it's gonna be the Indians, it's gonna be the Chinese, it's gonna be everybody up against y'all. And that's something that they cannot. Why is it always at the end of my life people are calling me down? That is something that they cannot afford. So I feel like she's gonna have her kickback, but I get the sense that they might get cool because I don't want to just see them together talking and it's kind of like, okay, we hashed it out. Like I'm not trying to come at you directly. It's just art. It's comedy. You know what I mean? Like the inspiration didn't even really come from your situation. The inspiration is coming from other content creators that are saying things. You know what I mean? That's the energy it's giving. You know what I mean? Hold on, just a second. I'm just gonna answer this call quickly. Hold on. Sorry, I don't even know why this child's up at this night. It was my baby. But I want to give a little announcement to Kevin. Kevin, Sad Boy just won a Juno. So Sad Boy's this singer. She's this artist from Toronto. And the Juno Awards is like the Canadian version. I wouldn't even say it's like the Oscars. I'm not even gonna lie. That's like it's an award show, but it's very prominent for Canadian music. And she just won a Juno.
I do this for the girls, and this is only proof.
So I'm really happy for her.
Bad decision.
I'm really happy for her that she got her Juno. That's cute. But anyways, yeah. So I do feel like they're gonna squash their beef. She gonna like. I feel like when it comes to Erica Kirk, like she hates the fact that she's not as quick witted as most people. Like she really wants to be able to defend herself because I feel like she's one of those people. Like in most cases, like in real life, I don't feel like she allows herself to be believed by people. Like she likes to get even. Actually, Kevin, if you can pull up Erica Kirk's I don't know if Kevin's still here. If you can pull up her chart, she has to have Scorpio somewhere. Yeah, she does. Actually, I think I saw that. Or she is a Scorpio, right? Fucking yo, that we're never gonna beat the allegations. She is a Scorpio. Yeah, she has to get even. But the thing is with Scorpios, see, okay, it's so funny Because you know who was putting this up like LMA? Like we have this misconception as Scorpios. Oh, the misconception when it comes to Scorpios. People always think that Scorpios is always trying to get their lick back. You know what I mean? And that's not exactly the case when it comes to Scorpios. Like, not all, because, like, okay, LMA was talking about like where we get this bad rap for being possessive, right? But it's not that we're possessive, we're very territorial. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is with Scorpios is that when we feel threatened, you have to threaten us first. When we feel threatened, 9 times out of 10, that's when we strike back. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Scorpios. So when you come for her, remember, Scorpio, like the exterior of a Scorpio or the inside, we're very sensitive. You know what I mean? So like when the people, like when she acts like she's holding it together, half the time she's not. She can't handle the stress, but she has to go through it. So she feels like as a person, like people don't respect me because I'm a woman, so I have to boss up. You know what I mean? Like she knows she'll never get the respect or she'll never get the recognition as a strong force like her husband did. You know what I mean? She wants that so bad though. I don't know why. Because it's crazy how you would think as a widow, she would take over to carry on the legacy, but carrying on the legacy in the name of Charlie Kirk, you know? But when it comes to her, it's like she don't even want that. She wants it to be about her. Like it's very much like, okay, it's about me now. But also like, no, because she never helped him out either. So I don't know. Girl, go sit down. Anyways, but she wants to get her get back. She has that in her. Like, oh, you could punch her and I could punch her too. But she's not gonna get that. It's a battle she can't win. So that's you gotta know when you're a loser. That's it. But yeah, she's a Scorpio. That makes a lot of sense. Child, we're never gonna beat the allegations. We're just not. Like I hate people. Like I've had people like I've been situated where people literally are like attributed who I am to my sign. Like I'm a human being. Like yes, I identify as being a Scorpio, but like there's so many different Scorpios out there. But like naturally, we do have that side to us. Like if you attack us, we're gonna come for you. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we know how to choose our fucking battles. Because like a Scorpio has a stinger, right? Like I'm not gonna like that Scorpio is not gonna waste it, huh? Yo, it's game on when you come for us, yes. But we're never the ones starting it. Like we're on the defense, we're not on the offense. Like I like Scorpio, and I'm a, let's separate her. Yuck. We don't claim her. Scorpios never really go out there looking for trouble. We're not really offense people. Like if you see the scorpion in the wild, like it's going around doing its own thing. But we will defend what we're confronted with. You know what I mean? But at the same time, as a scorpion, they know how much venom they have. So they choose wisely. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always worth it for a Scorpio. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, for example, for me, I'm in an industry where it comes with like spiritual people. And spiritual people have like, they have their way of how they deal with revenge. Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna throw that bitch in a jar. I'm gonna put this thing in like, you know what I mean? I've never really been a person that's like, it's there's so many layers to it before it ever has to go to magic. Like I come from the old school where it's like we know we can fuck up some shit, so we'll agree to disagree, right? But some situations don't call for that. You know what I mean? Like I never want anyone to ever even feel like you're worth me going to the shop. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna get up out of my house. go all the way down the road to go to the shop. Products expensive, spend $80. Come back to my fucking house or more. Or $100 more. Come back to my house or more. Open a circle or whatever door to bring in darkness to comfort your ass just because you don't fucking like me. I don't give a fuck about you like that, bro. It's not that deep. 9 times out of 10, I had to get rid of you. Bye. You know what I mean? Like, people always get that misconception with people because they're Scorpios that they just think that we're petty. We're not. Scorpios are not petty. You see what I'm saying? Like, literally, if a Scorpio is gonna come for you, it's because they feel like they're threatened. Like, I mean, threatened to with their life type situation. Like, threatened like you could really do them some harm, not because you don't fuck with them. You know what I mean? Like, we don't do those ones. I had a nightmare this week about a scorpion stinging the hell out of me. I woke up in a sweat. Damn, that's not really good. That could also mention a betrayal. Because since like scorpions are associated with karma or karmic energy or revenge or whatever, but it feels to me it has to do with a betrayal. Yeah, betrayal. There's 3 steps to, yes, it's not chess, it's checkers. Like, that's what it is. You know what I mean? But she's adjustable though, because the reason why I say this about Erica Kirk, because I really, really believe that. Now I just saw it. Like, Charlie Kirk did threaten her though. And the thing is, it's like you could tell Charlie Kirk doesn't see a woman as his equal. So she gotta come hard, bro. Like, that's the kind of person she is. Like, when it comes to men, especially being what she's been across and dealing with fucking like Epstein type of people, she's constantly around men that don't respect women. So she has to feel like she has to have something to her to feel like she's a boss gal. Because she feels like right now I was just dragging her, and like she doesn't, like, she can't handle it. Like, she doesn't have an angle. Like, that's the energy I'm getting from her. Like, she doesn't have an angle right now. You know what I mean? On what she wants to do or what she can do. Like, that's what I feel like it is. And she feels like it like, it stung her. It got to a point like it's like, but the thing is, because she cares about notoriety, she cares about popularity, she cares about numbers. You know what I mean? The fact that this is a parody that that was a very popular, like, bro, it wasn't just like it just went viral. The fucking skit broke the internet, B. Like, let's look at this right now. Right now, this is sitting at 6.7 million views, 419K comments, 534K reposts, and 3.8 million shares. This fucking skit broke the fucking internet. And it was only posted 3 days ago. You think she likes the idea that something of this that has to do with her of this caliber has gotten this much views and this much notoriety, and she got nothing to do with this and no part of it? Yo, Erica Kirk is pissed. That's what pisses her off the most. Because she realized she was not expecting the traction that she's gotten in the position that she's getting. She was not expecting it to go like this. Like, she really thought like she was gonna really change the game with this one, and it hasn't been doing that with her. That's why I remember when I said that she's gonna deviate off script. When I said that there's gonna come a point where she might deviate off script, because it's like the best thing to do when it comes to your enemies, if you can't beat them, join them. Cause I literally see her talking to Druski and I see them smiling and laughing. So it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. That could be a move that she make that goes off script. That could be her downfall. because there's so much buildup in this creation, this image of like you got like she got to do something. If she's smart and she's thinking media and she's thinking like trendy, yo, what would make her big, or what would make her big, or would do a good look for TP in USA is to do something with Druski. Even if she did a cameo with Druski, that would turn shit around for her. But that's off script though. So that's what I see. But Erica Kirk, man, I don't like, I hate people. And it's crazy because when I see Erica Kirk, I don't feel like Erica Kirk is as racist as she tries to present herself to be. She's not. It's just the people she makes money from and the people that get her ahead are racist. But I don't think she's as racist as she presents herself to be. She is very white. I do get that. Like I don't get like she's really exposed to anything ethnic or really had like really ethnic friends in a close proximity of her like that. But I don't get if she's that racist. Not like that. She's not. She's too like caught up in her own world to hate people. Like she has conservative views, but her conservative views are related to like where she's from. Like in a sense of like that's more. It's more seen. You know what I mean? Um. Like that's more of the culture. It's like a cultural thing. It's like a cultural thing for her. But it's not like, but she will say what she has. Because even when she made that ad lib about white men, like it was slid in there. That was something she felt like she needed to say for favorability. Yeah, she got to stay on brand at the end of the day. But I feel like she's gonna get to that point. But I don't think it's gonna be a good look for her. She don't realize how strict the script is for her. Like these, remember, conservatives are not really. They're not trying to go with the new world. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to conform. Conservatives are very particular when it comes to their views. And if they believe in the days of old, it's the days of old, child. They don't want to be part of nothing else. When I don't want to be a nigger hugger, like you know what I mean. Excuse my language. I don't want to be an IGGR hugger. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I get. Any questions? Yeah, she knows. But at the same time, it's like she knows how sick Trump is. And she probably knows that Netanyahu is dead too. But she's a part of a mission and she has to carry out the mission as such. Do you think that he feels regret? I don't think he feels regret. I don't think he feels regret because he feels like it aligned with his beliefs. But I think that he can understand that he contributed to hate that wasn't exactly productive and forward moving in the first place. Like he contributed to something that was opposite of what God would want. Like it wasn't forward moving. It's almost like if I were to sit up here and lambast somebody, you know what I mean? Sit up here and actually create an image of somebody, who they are, what they do, whatever. That's not exactly the truth. And I'm using my power to do that to somebody just based on whatever ignorance I have about that person. And I'm using my power to direct hate at somebody that doesn't deserve it. Like he sees that where that was wrong. You don't do that shit. Because like that person, that community has now become vulnerable to the influence that you've used to come against them. You know what I mean? Like he realizes that. Like maybe his aim and how he directed that energy wasn't fair to the LGBTQ community. Because at the end of the day, they can live their life. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't care if you're a Christian and you think that is sinful. At the end of the day, like That person in specific has to go meet their maker, and the maker decides. That's not up to you for you to use your influence as an influencer and get a sect of people against how these people choose how to live their lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's not even like you're defending, like you know what I mean? It's like you're using your powers for your own ignorance. And that's not fair. What is the next question? Any more questions? Damn, this live was 3 hours, child. 3 hours, 10 minutes. Does Erica have any entity? Girl, wow. Does that look human like? Does that look human like? Well, yeah, we will know the truth. It's sad because a lot of these things that are happening, yes, we may know the truth, but what gets done? It's not about truth. I think we're not having a truth problem. We're having a justice problem. We've, believe it or not, everything that you feel like you don't know, you know the truth about. The truth has been exposed to you, right? It's whether or not you've allowed yourself to believe it or there was enough evidence to back it up. Doesn't mean it's not true, right? But what we have not seen is justice. We have not seen anything done about these things. That's the kicker. Is she summoning that herself? No. Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. It comes with the territory, man. It's like if I were to get, like, if somebody were to get into the gang and now you got to drink from a chalice filled with blood. You know what I mean? And the chalice goes around, we all drink from it, and that's your initiation. Like, you know what I'm saying? So would you say she's summoning it? Of course. Because she took part in whatever, you know? And then obviously then there's certain things that you gotta do to maintain it, right? So yeah. Does she understand it all on a deep, intricate level? No. I think she's doing as she knows what she needs to do and what is expected of her based on what she does. This is what I believe. This is what I not believe. I see. I see. That's what I see. Any questions? All right, so we're gonna close out this live, child. We did a 3 hours and 12 minutes. It's been so lovely. And just to think I've been sitting here for 3 hours talking to y'all. I haven't even felt like it's been 3 hours, but here we are. Okay. But again, if you guys would like to get a private reading, all my information is in the description box. Again, I have question readings or whatever the case may be. Hit up my Instagram to find out rates and prices for my readings. They're all available there. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video. Make sure you also hype the video as well. And yeah, thank you so much for you guys' support. And whoever's watching, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do subscribe to my channel, chat. But yeah, I do want to thank you so much for your time, guys, and rocking with me. This live has been really great, and I'm thankful for everyone that interacted tonight. May God bless you and the angels protect you. Good night.